It almost likes it. Sending data. Again, same. Oh, online. There we go. That's what it needed. I don't know what that was, um, but few. So we're online on YouTube as well. Good lord. That was a nice little panic attack. Does the audio sound okay? Sound wise, everything's fine for you guys? By the way, you're going to hear a little of the background noise of the briefing as it gets started. Well, thanks, Ben. I love lab rats too. Hi. Howdy, I'll be listening as I'm driving. We'll drive carefully, and I'll try not to yell too much and shock you. Excellent. All right. Um, this, by the way, I know my counter says 5 minutes, and the briefing was supposed to start at 2 o'clock, and it's a bit low. Okay, good to know. I think that's on your end though, although because I've made a fairly good effort at making the sound. Let's see. I'll bring it up a touch. See if that does it. I've got a check. How's that? Is that a little warmer? I don't want to go up into the red. In the weird part about all this, and this is inside baseball, and you guys don't need to know this, is there are 3 meters I'm dealing with. There's the meter of the mic going into the computer. There's the meter from loopback going from the inputs of the computer to OBS. And then there's the OBS out meter that tells me how loud stuff is. And I might, my normal talking voice might be fine, but then it gets all, like, if I yell, it'll blur out. So I have to, I set a compressor on here a little bit. If I bring the compressor in a little bit, just to guarantee that if I get a little hot, if I'm very hot for you guys, I don't want to be too hot, it'll be slightly better. All right, and then I got to make sure that there's really no audio coming out of this thing right now. Let's see something real quick. Hey, Slick Chick, thanks so much. Help me check the alert box that should be up on the... There it is. It works. Now the chat box looks weird, though. Every time I try to fix something, though, if you try to fix things live in Streamlabs OBS, it goes all cattywampus. And I'm not quite sure why that is. There's no particular reason for it. Oh, I don't even need that. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. At least this is full chat. See if that'll transition over and seem a little better without sending it, like, slaughtering my output. Oh, and I like the graphic that's up on my live stream now. That fixed some wonky part of YouTube when I re-upped. They may have updated Stream Now on there and how it reacts with Restream and all that kind of stuff. I did not get the firmware sorted out. I'm using our old faithful microphone from HSRPM because I did a big mic check across the board to hear what you guys were hearing, and it was terrible. So until I can get that firmware issue fixed, I went back to our old AKG, Carl. I thought you might appreciate the return. The problem with is the mic setup on here is well, there's a lot of things, but the hard part is having a mic stand and a physical mic or whatever. I'm live typing and doing all this stuff at the same time, so it's a tooth pull. that just reaching for a beverage when you have a mic stand and 2 keyboards in front of you is a tall order. Yeah, they're not even close to ready. I might have to restart my timer on this thing. Nah, I'll just hang out with you guys. How'd you fix your printer? You might want to use a Raspberry Pi 4 for simplicity. Oh, the 3D printer? Yeah, I might have to restart that from scratch. Good times. I need to work on something else, too. I don't... Settings. Show avatars, shooter, compact mode. That's fine. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So people in the Discord can get in there as well now. That's nice. In the general text Discord. All right. I worked on that. I just got to get this stupid thing to stop saying. Let's see. I want to see what the best version of me talking to everybody is. Through the chat room too. Does that come across? Yeah. All right. That's from the Twitch side of things. And then if I opened up a YouTube one, look at Dana's text. Okay. And then I got it. Hey, Santa Rose, my birthday. Oh, happy birthday! Happy birthday, Dana! Do-do-do-do-do! Happy birthday, Dana! Do-do-do-do-do! All right, hold on. Let me shut my door and work out live. Happy birthday! Oh, these guys are. They're getting ready to do the live stand-ups in front of. Here, I'll go to this guy. So they're about. Welcome to the show, everybody. How you guys doing? How's your Sunday going? This is what I get to watch from whenever they think this is supposed to be scheduled to whenever they manage to extract their thumb from their ass and getting around to it. Have they killed audio from this thing until then? I guess so. Yeah, so they're not borrowing audio from someplace else. There's no issues with the audio on my side. Yeah, and it's all the way turned up. There it is. So, yeah, they've shut their mic off until stuff starts happening. Usually, all you hear at my cue that things are actually going is the sound of the clicking cameras as the people who Trump sends out early, filter in Burks and everybody. Absolutely, Ben. Nice to hang out with you as well. And Octoprint? What's Octoprint? That sounds good. Is it time for Babbling Idiots? Almost. The Discord is just for the patrons, so I've been working on that behind the scenes, trying to get stuff up too. Maybe you should try adjusting microphone in OBS while we see no video. That's what I've been doing, yeah. Does this sound all right for you guys? It is a very, very small room, that one. It's, well, I take that back. I mean, it's, whatever, how many seats across? 10 across and 15 deep. So it's a narrow room, but it's, it just looks small because the focus is that little window. It's like a TV set, Whenever you see a TV set in real life, it's much smaller. So... Tough choice. Coronavirus task force versus cheesy sci-fi disaster movie. How was the clincher? Oh, thanks, Joyce. There's a thin line right now between the coronavirus task force and a cheesy sci-fi disaster movie. Honest to God, this is like watching the extended. You know how the Swedes made a version of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, both the film, the original, the Swedish film, and they made a series out of it, which they shot at the same time, which is way longer. That's this. Oh, it's a print server for 3D printer. Okay. I like it. Octoprint. Okay, I'll look into that. Thanks, Aubrey. I appreciate that for letting me know. Hi, everybody. What's OBS? It's the software I use to stream that lately. I have 3 different rotating ones that I've been trying to find the best one on. This one's had the most. It's got the most function to it. The trick I'm going to try tonight after this is done is to port all the changes and the setups that I've made from this into Wirecast, which technically it should be able to absorb. That might take a weird test in the middle of the night. So if you get an announcement at, at 9 o'clock tonight with, testies in there, that's probably what I'm doing. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. Like I said, I'll just go until you tell me to stop.
Yeah. Don't make me don't bomb the chat, okay? Chillax. It's unkind. What is the shadow banning you mentioned the other day? I got bumped down by the algorithm because of some of the names that I try to be cryptic with the names of the task force briefing that I do so that I don't get squashed by the anti-alternate news thing that comes up, because they just have an algorithm up that brooms out the Alex Joneses of the world. So if I mention Trump's name in the name of this stream, it will automatically get bumped down. Hi, Ben. I don't drink at all. I've never had a beer in my life. I don't drink. So, yeah. I have not assigned moderators, but I did find out how. So I brought my. I had to wait until you guys were in there. Ha ha. Ha ha. And this is what to do. Let's see. Periscope. I had to wait until you guys were here before I could do that using the chat. I don't want to enable notifications. That's nonsense. Are you insane? Are you a crazy person? What's wrong with you? By the way, excellent to see that I've got some super fans in there. That's nice. That's what a lovely listing that is. Now we go to people, and there was a thing. Okay, go to my stream, that kind of thing. Look at the people that are in here. I got to turn the pod down. They don't allow you to mute within it while you're watching it, I guess because that wouldn't make a ton of sense. So there you go. Keeps me saying, well, you can't blame me. Honest to God. And do we know? Do we know who these reporters are who are making the statements right now? Here, I'm going to switch to my regular camera real quick. I also have to set up these shots a little better, and I need a transition hotkey for my. Take this. There you go. For my stream deck, that's the next thing. I've been chipping away at stuff. I have. Yeah, right as Jeremy Diamond. Yeah. Do we know the other guy? So it says view your superfans. There they are. Are these? Oh, and Noel, you're right in there. Noel Liberty, Kayla, Shelly C, Karen H, Richmond 1958, Oh My Four Cats, and LAT Aquarius. So awesome. Thank you guys. Now let's see. How do I? There was a way to do it. I found it. I'm doing it. Comment moderation. My moderators. Go live to group. Let's see. No, let's see. Add moderators. Search. Okay. No, I don't want to do that.
Some governors of simply being unwilling to fully use that capacity. Well, governors are pushing back today. Governors, both Republicans and Democrats, insisting they need more help.
Not showing up in there. There you go. Okay, let's send that out. That's a waste of time. I don't understand. All right. So, I was so depressed until Cosmic Rose showed me the stream. Oh, that's awesome, Slick Chick. I mean, ultimately, we just got to burn through these things. You cannot let them own you. Again, my response has always been in my life, the healthy, I think, response I didn't get the screenshots, Dana. Where did you send them to? You haven't got Richard. You haven't got your blue patch yet. I thought we sent yours like last year. Well, we will fix that. Now that I'm sequestered, I ran out for a while and I got a few more, so that may have been during the window. I apologize. Do you configure your microphone for noise suppression, gate, and gain filter? Yes, I do. I'm currently doing that. Does it sound okay because of that? Oh, well, we will fix that, Richard. Okay. Yeah, there hasn't been a mail out since the beginning of the sequester, by the way. But oh, my Twitter account. Excellent. Okay, I will look there, Dana, when I figure this part of it. Okay, how do I add a okay, add a moderator. Comments being by moderators, invite people to group. Let's see, how do I do that?
And the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Democrats, of course, have been asking for more funding for other projects beyond the small business program. That is what has held up the negotiations over the last week. But now Democrats are going to be getting, in addition to the $310 billion for the PPP loan program, they're also getting $75 billion.
I will figure. Things sound great. Excellent.
And $25 billion for testing. Those are the latest figures that we have, but of course they could shift. However, Republicans and the White House.
Hi guys. Hi everybody. It was to show you how to add mods. Oh, that's lovely. Of course it is. And of course, in the thing that I'm looking at right now, it says you can add mods this way, but because literally I'm like on the screen, like go add moderators, and then you click on add moderators, and it didn't like seeing itself. So yeah. All right, there we go. We got 44 people in there, though, hanging out for Sunday, friggin' Sunday. Good Lord. Oh, no. Oh, okay, it's not right now. I thought Ben Glebe was live right now, and what a horror. Right, Ben? All right, let's see. People, notifications, papers. Go back to this thing. You guys, by the way, can vote on abusive comments in there. That's turned on. So if somebody's abusive, then you can vote him out. If anybody hits like, I don't know quite how that works. I haven't done it because I don't watch a lot of Hal Sparks, please scroll up. Okay, good. I'm reading and doing stuff. We'll show you how to add mods. So glad you're doing this. Thanks, C Fields. It's just comedy. Our biomed group is very informative of this. Apparently, there was a serious evidence that cytokine storms are causing the majority of deaths. Yes, they are. Hence the remdesivir use of drugs. And hi, Cosmo Grows. Yeah, watch it, Lewis. There's just youngins present, sort of. I mean, I swear on occasion, too. It's hard not to. I get it. We get overwhelmed. I was going to click send all, then we'll all be... Yeah, right. Accidentally make everyone one. Thanks, Goonie Zool. Zool. Hello. All right. Good people also get voted out. Good to know. Well, if that becomes a problem, I'll fix it. I'm receiving a very slight echo where words can be heard basically right under themselves. I use a razor here as a microphone and I hadn't done this before today. Help. What are you monitoring through? Because what you're hearing is your voice passing through the software and coming back. Oh. If that is indeed your real name. There are bots attacking in Periscope as of yesterday, and many have limited chat until they can fix them. Bots crash the scope. Don't know if OBS scopes are affected. Oh, good to know. Okay. Well, the interesting thing is I would much prefer people to chat via YouTube anyways, simply because it helps everybody, you know. I've got moderators in there. You should set a counter every time a lie is told. I think that would max out the bit rate of my computer. That's the hard part. How long are they going to drag this shit out? Look at this. Hold on. This is still they're still dangling right there. Here we'll switch over so you guys can be part of this as well. I have to fix the graphic, but I moved the chat over here so at least it looks like I'm looking at you guys when I'm reading it, which I think is nicer. I'll work on that, you know. I don't want to work on too much while I'm rolling live because it will collapse. And I have very curly, fluffy hair today, and I apologize because I did it really fast. So I'm getting more artifacting around my hair. I tried to like brush my hair flat and make it really smooth yesterday to see if I could stop the artifacting of the green screen around me, as if that's a solvable problem. But yeah, we guarantee prompt service no matter how long it takes. That's great. Yeah, Trump is. Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now, Noel. Yeah, it's infotainmentwars.com. There's a link right there, over there. Infotainmentwars.com will take you to the YouTube page, and you can like and subscribe there. Much easier, and I can also eventually. Hi, bonjour, Belgium. Ça va bien? I don't know if you speak Finnish though. No, my aunt was from Belgium, and she spoke French, so I'm always gonna default that way. Yeah, I do have a little bit of the Superman curl going, but that's not bad. That's appropriate, I think. I want the U.S. military to remove Trump from office to save what's left of the country. Yeah, no, you don't. You do like as bad as anything gets. You do not want a military coup in our country. You don't. If anything, what you do is you have the if he commits a crime and he refuses to leave after he's been impeached, then you get the FBI to come in and remove him, which is how it works. But you never wish for a day when you have the military removing your president, because that's a slippery slope into the exact opposite kind of government we want to have. Yeah, that's what happens in other countries, John. If the military takes over, there's no end to it. Hey, and for mic monitoring is an Audio Technica ATH G1 WL. Okay, yeah, but the direct, whatever your direct monitoring is, and it might be an aspect of the monitoring system you work through. There's going to be two routes. It's always wonky when you're streaming stuff out because there's actually three voices. Hey, Briggs, good to see you again. Welcome back. You were around for a little bit, and then I didn't see you for a while. And I know that you do a bunch of 10 reasons you don't want to live in LA and the craziest cities in North America and the oddest houses you've ever seen that have tile flooring. All those videos you do. I've seen quite a few of them, brother, and thank you for that. It's good to see you again. That if you're monitoring audio, and this is the inside baseball of this stuff, and what I ice skate up a hill against every time I do a broadcast, and have for a long time, is there are three voices. There's the one coming out of your mic that if you have direct monitoring, you will hear the exact sound of your voice leaving your face, entering the microphone. It will be 1-to-1. The difference is negligible. You can't even sense it. The second one is the sound of your voice going into the computer and out of the computer, which the latency on those is fairly tight too, but you'll hear a slight delay. The third one is your voice going from the mic into the computer, through the computer's processor, into your streaming software and out to the stream, which can be anywhere from a couple of seconds after to a minute, depending on how slow your stream is. So there's in troubleshooting these things by yourself, that's the IT part of it that sends me scrambling and used to all the time. And I just straightened out my desk because I had everything locked down, and then my little Pico mics went south, and they needed a firmware update, and I can't do it, and I don't quite know why. They haven't answered my support text, but I did send it Saturday night, or Friday night late, so we'll see. And God knows if they're even in their office or able to answer it, or what time zone they're in. I think it's a foreign machine. I think it's made in Europe, man. So you know how you feel about them. Thank you, Andy Angels. And thanks for subscribing, Barry. Appreciate it. and the follow d'Adrien too. So let's see if I pop out event filtering options. That's fun. Done. And I see the options for doing that, but I don't see how to actually do it. I suppose it's in the other weapon. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's very strange. The whole thing's very strange. Hell, yesterday my brother's Thomas' birthday. He turned 9. It'd be great if you wish him happy birthday. Is he around? Happy birthday, Thomas. Now go watch something else, because I might say some grown-up words. I'll do a. If I put stuff worth watching for you guys in there, I will put a hashtag lab rats or something in the name of the show. Hope Russia is sick of him already. Yeah, I don't know. See, the thing is, he doesn't serve Russia. They just want chaos. So as long as he's wrecking stuff, even when it hurts them, it does more damage to us. Do we think it's all rooted to Russian-backed mortgages in the country, or you mean him? Because, I mean, all of his buildings are standing because of Russian money, 100%. There's not a single one. It might not be the entirety of the loan, but it's the vast majority of it. And it's certainly, if they refinanced any time in the last 25 years, it's been Russian money. No question. I mean, that's $600 million from Deutsche Bank. Is enormous. A huge part of that. Where'd you go? Let's see. Everybody's. No worries. All good. Cool. All right. So I don't know when they're starting. Like, it is 3:15, folks. This stream was supposed to start. Look at this. They're still dilly-dallying about this nonsense. This is ridiculous. The report. I mean, there's not even the pre-staff isn't even here yet. Where he makes everybody walk out before him. Goofy. While we're waiting, hit the like. Yes, thanks, Philly Dana, for reminding everybody. Give us a thumbs up, like and support the show. Look, the tip jar is back, and it's in, I think, every possible version of the screen. Oh, I know I don't dare fix it right now. While I'm doing this, while he's still getting dressed, they're still putting his hair on. They airlift it with Marine 5. How could you hide the new Washington Post about? Could it be to hide the new Washington Post about the WHO notifications? Yeah, very possibly. Frozen on YouTube. Okay, I think that's a YouTube thing, and it might be on your side. Anytime it freezes, restart your page, and then if it doesn't work after a couple times, let me know, because I have a monitoring stream I watch to make sure stuff's going out. Fact-based schedule says it was supposed to be at 5 o'clock. I know. And it's 6:20 their time. Oh, yeah, thanks. I did not put on a Patreon banner. You're right. Oh, do I fix stuff live? I have it in this one. Wait. I have it in this screen. There you go. How about that? Is that better? I didn't put one on the big screen for that guy. And tip jar. Got it together. How do you contribute to the tip jar? Anybody likes, subscribes, does bits on Twitch, super chats, super hearts on... Basically, I have it set on anything, so people can contribute any way that they can, and if they subscribe or follow or, any of that stuff. Pretty much across the board. Yeah, so Slick Chick just did some super hearts, and it will... she'll do that. That little that's off base. I gotta. That seems wonky. Why is that there?
Okay.
Yeah, it should be a little further this way. There you go. That when that happens, a couple of seconds later, you'll see some coins start to fall into the tip jar, and that from those things. It's pretty great. Yeah, he's never on time. He's on Trump time. Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, the sitting here. Oh man, I hate when it does that. When it slips to the other page because I've got another page up and it gets confused, and it ditches out the page on there. Go back to just me, and then we'll fix it, and then we'll transition, and it gets really weird. And then if you fix it and go back, then it works. There you go. This is another like glitch in Streamlabs OBS. Oh, where are you, you bastard? All right, I have to fix it for like. Look, I even made a screen. I need like hold music that plays during this part. Da 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 do 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 do. Hey ba do bam 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 bam. Hey ba do biddy woo buddy skibbly doo biddy wee. Kafleega doo bump. Ba baby bo ba bump. Done. There you go. And I think that should do it. Bum 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 bum. But no, it didn't. You jerk. It's 188. Done. That's what does it. Let's see if that fixes it. Did it fix it? We'll see. Yeah, there we go. And that's another wonky thing in Streamlabs. That's not something I can fix. That's just weird. There's like 3 or 4 things. This is barely just the beta version of Streamlabs OBS for the Mac. And so they definitely left some stuff out. Oh, okay. So the pictures to show the president in council with his advisors making wise decisions and understanding the depth of the threat against America and all that stuff. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. I couldn't comment in widescreen on YouTube. I think it's below you. You have to, the chat goes, if you go into theater mode, you have to, the chat goes below. I don't know where it goes. Here's an idea, Noel. In YouTube, watch it normal and where the chat's on the side. Pop the chat out, and then put the screen with the regular thing in theater mode. That should work. That's what I'll just say that. How about that? Yeah, the ground shaking. You better have audio on this. Don't make me fix you, YouTube. You dirty rats. They got the screens up today, so we're going to see some lovely graphics. We're down to 1 flag. And I'm using a different server for the feed from it. And thank you, Christina F. And we will see. We shall see what we shall see. But oops, there we go. So we won't have the pleasure of seeing Mike Pence wearing his paper hat today. I'm just saying. Lovely rally graphics, exactly. I'm surprised it's not on fire at this point. Like at some point. A little box in the right-hand corner. Oh, that's from YouTube. That's a little overlay YouTube graphic that YouTube puts on there that from way back in the day when they were like, you could put your own branded watermark on your own. The number of like stray wires in the world in streaming is hilarious. Just brooming that stuff out. It's why nobody really goes for, in the normal streaming world, graphic setups like this kind of stuff. They just don't bother because you go through the process of setting it up and then it collapses. And why most, like, even most gamers keep fairly low tech. They'll do a green screen like I'm doing and cut themselves out and throw the alert boxes up, but everything else will look like crap because by the time you get around to fixing it and getting it working right, they update it and, oh, we lost a screen. It's that darn screen on the left, man. It always does that. In the middle of the thing, that's the one that keeps coming up and gives them which HDMI input they're using, which is hilarious. This is one of those situations where if I had if we weren't in sequester and I actually had a staff of people, we could hire a producer for this show. And then we could, I've been trying to bribe my friend in the press pool to buy put a blow-up doll with a phone taped to its hand in one of the seats, like autopilot in Airplane. Oh my God. It's the screen that lies. It's true. Yeah, everybody, wash your hands. There's. You know what's funny is, oh, here they come. Here comes the first crowd of them. We're not hearing the. So Time's got its sound turned down or off. Oh. Where's Trump? Oh, he's on his way. The supporting cast has come out to do their opening bows, and then he's going to come out afterwards. But yeah, instead of having a drinking game with Trump, we should wash our hands every time he says, we had no ammunition. There was no ammunition in the whole world. Meanwhile, did you guys, if you follow me on Twitter, you see the two things I posted earlier, and I'm creating a rotating image carousel in OBS launching tomorrow. Because I couldn't launch it today without crashing the stream I was currently doing, and I had other fish to fry. I had to make breakfast for my girlfriend. Okay, there, I admit it. I had to make sure she and her kid were fed, and I did that. And so I spent the rest of the time scrambling to do. Yes, we're gonna do there was a Zoom update. I'm giving it one more shot. We are going to do a Patreon Zoom gathering on... I would like to do 3 of them this week. If it's cool with you, for an hour, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. And I think it would be good to put them at different times. So, like, oddly, because we're all at home and doing nothing, invertly. So, late tomorrow, after the stream, this one, Wednesday midday and Friday morning, that kind of thing. In Canada, Kim? Good Lord. Why are you so little looking? What do you mean so little looking? I've just put myself in the screen so that I can talk about this. This is how I do it. I have this one. I mean, I'm here. Yes, I'll send out invites. They'll be on the Patreon. I'm going to list them and kind of put a schedule together for this. Yeah. You guys type so fast. Some people have automatic stuff that they just kind of cut and paste, Julie. I'm convinced. I'm a Patreon. I won't figure that out. We'll work on it, Robin. But if you... Yeah. I would recommend everybody to use the Zoom website instead of downloading their app. You lost the presser? Yeah, well, I dropped it for a second. Because they're not doing anything. So, to prove that I'm not tiny in real life. IRL.
Hey, John, good evening. That's right. We are still the president, the vice president, some members of the president's coronavirus task force. They have made
this dude's doing a second update. He's like, look at this. We're standing here. I'm in front of the blue door. Please don't blue screen stuff behind me. I'll be on Zoom in Panama. That's awesome. House shootout in Nova Scotia in Canada. Oh my God, here we go. We'll deal with that as we deal with it.
Thank you very much.
Wait, why is there no audio from this guy? Hold on. Why am I pause? No, you don't get to talk until I hear what you say, you goofball. That's not happening. I need to make sure that the monitoring is happening, and I don't see what you guys are seeing. The thing is, the monitor is on. I've got. Did my headphones die while we were sitting here? Is that what happened? Did something weird happen? Hold on. Device missing. It was there the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, it says it's connected. Okay. Turn it off and back on. Turn it on. Turn it on. Turn it on again. Let's see if that did it. Did we get in here? Hold on. Yeah, here we go. All right. You guys can hear that okay, right? Clickety clackety clack. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Good Jesus Day, everyone.
Thank you very much.
We continue to have amazing news from all the states that didn't listen to me and told great stories about what they were doing. So I will continue to take credit for that. And we're lucky that we are here and
I'd like
doing
to begin by
stuff.
saying that we're continuing to negotiate with the Democrats to get our great workers and small businesses all over the country taken care of. I think.
Why is he out of breath? There's 2 steps. Is it just that you can't, after you do a big blast of Adderall, is it that you can't like breathe deep for a minute? Is that what happens? Because there's something, he's heaving.
We're getting close to a deal. Could happen. A lot of good work has been going on, and we could have an answer tomorrow. And we're going to see what exactly does take place. We're also.
Well, yes, we will all. I love all these, like, we'll see what happens because things continue to exist and go on. This is, yeah, it's nutty. Come on, play you.
Looking at helping our hospitals and our rural hospitals who have been hurt very badly. The rural hospitals for a long time have not been treated properly. We're looking.
What do you mean? What has China been? Do they have a trade deficit with Iran? Our rural hospitals have not been treated well. What? I don't. Why? Okay, Button. Why are you acting weird today? This is so strange.
To help them and beyond. So we're looking at hospitals also as part of the package.
Yeah, look at hospitals.
And we'll see how that all comes out. But a lot of good things are happening. Some very good negotiations. Just got off the phone with the Secretary of the Treasury, and we have some very good negotiations going on right now.
I got off the.
I think you could have a nice answer tomorrow, but we'll see.
We'll
America continues.
I mean, I don't really know. I think it's impossible to say.
To make steady progress in our war against the virus. As of today, we've tested 4.18 million Americans. That's a record anywhere in the world. The United States has now conducted more total tests than all of the following nations combined.
I see. All right. Okay, give us the countries that have, I don't know, the same population as New York State, and then give us another country that has the same population as California, and then give us an entire other nation that gives us the same population of Washington State. Something like that. Play, you rat.
France, the United Kingdom,
Uh-huh.
South Korea, Japan, Singapore, India, Austria, Australia, Sweden, and Canada.
Yeah, because they sequestered everyone, only needed to test the people in those areas, and through contact tracing, they didn't require as much testing because they handled it earlier. Every time he reads this, remind yourself that this is proof positive that he waited too long to deal with this. The fact that we're having to test as many people, both per capita and individually, as we do, is because this dude had his head up his own ass. That's just the reality.
and our testing is expanding very rapidly by millions and millions.
Because it has to. It's very popular. All the kids want it. All the kids love it. Oh, good grief.
People. So we've done more testing than all of these countries combined: France, United Kingdom, South Korea, Japan, Singapore, India, Austria, and Australia.
Austria and Australia? All right.
Sweden and Canada.
Sweden and Canada. Sweden and Canada. Guys, hey, Sweden and Canada.
That's something, right?
Yeah. We have to. What that's like saying our neighborhood has had more AIDS tests than anywhere. Well, why? Well, it's a hot spot. You know,
We're doing a great job.
we have tested more people for black lung in West Virginia than all of Texas, Oklahoma, Florida. What other states don't have coal mines? What?
This team is an incredible team, and that includes Army Corps of Engineers, a lot of our military people, our
Some of them are assholes. You know, I had to fire them.
admirals, our generals. One of our great admirals here has done an incredible job. You haven't slept too much in the last 2 months either. Look at him.
Why is that funny? Why is it funny that he's not getting a lot of sleep? He's not getting a lot of sleep because there's 40,000 dead Americans. Laugh about that.
Let's
Get some rest. Yeah. You've been burning the midnight oil. I don't even understand it. I had a great, this whole team's been awake like round the clock. I feel well rested though. This is so
said to me,
nuts.
President, you look tired. I said, I should be tired. We should all be tired, but we have to win, right? Tomorrow,
When did he say that? August of last year?
the vice president will lead a call with our nation's governors from FEMA headquarters, Mike.
Yeah, because whenever you're on a call, everything goes to shit. So it's now Mike is just handling all these calls, and then they okay, erase his audio. All right, I will do just that. And then Trump will roll in with this idea that you know, he tells me the call was just amazing, just incredible. Let's see if this beg your pardon. UN capturing. Why is that? Oh, I see. I know why. Sorry. I'm keeping track of so many things. It's just maddening. The amount of just the work that I do is incredible. And praise me. This is a great team. If you don't like how I do audio, then you don't like Apple and Restream and Safari and Time Magazine and your mama. Play, you silly person.
More they can do and do together to develop locally tailored testing strategies, working very hard with governors now on testing. We want to help them out.
Why? They're supposed to do the testing themselves, didn't we?
For the call, we'll
I blame Tim Apple.
send them a full list of all of the large laboratory machines in the states. They have a lot of machinery in the states that some aren't that aware of, but they're there, and they're really high quality machines, by the way.
Yeah, and they use them for forensic pathology and rape kits, and you're supposed to make up this part of it. I don't get it. This is...
And the potential capacity of those machines, if they're fully utilized. A couple of them didn't know that they could be utilized in a different manner. They were only up to 10%, and they can go 90% more.
They didn't know that because it's a new disease. It wasn't that they didn't know, it's that they didn't work that way. You know,
Many governors are still relying on their state laboratories rather than the full and much larger capacity that is available to them. As an example, commercial laboratories such as Quest and LabCorp. These are massive laboratories that can handle a lot more than they're being sent. A few days ago, it was at 30%. They were only at 30% capacity now. I don't know, they're probably the same, but they have a lot of capacity. In addition, academic laboratories, big research labs. There's tremendous capacity out there.
yeah, if they shut down everything else they are doing, people have a tremendous capacity to fight zombies if they would just stop trying to secure food and board up the windows. Like,
And some of them want the fast, the instant Abbott machine, which
there is no instant Abbott machine. Keurig is now making a 1 cup test, which is fabulous. I hear it makes it will
just came about due to the research during this little short period of time, and it's very quick. But these labs can do it very quickly also, and they're massive. They can handle much more than the small machine can handle.
Yeah, we know. That's why the individual machines are useless except for on-site specific areas like hospital staffs and army bases and the Comfort and the Mercy.
We continue to
shove our head up our own asses and have remedial reading courses every day.
Procure millions of swabs.
Yeah, because we don't have enough swabs. Another thing, like, we're so proud of being late. I ran really fast to get here an hour late. Why didn't you leave earlier? Shut up!
Test collectors. I have something here. Just have
Oh, no. Oh, God. All right, thank God. Excuse me while I whip this out. Oh!
It's a swab.
Oh, my God. There's the one we've been looking for. This guy, I've been carrying this one around just in case I have it. Suckers. What a dickhead. Look at this stuff. This is what a swab is. It's basically a Q-tip. I've got one. Where's yours? What the shit is this? Is he holding it upside down? That's what I want to know. Oh, my God.
Looks innocent.
Looks innocent, but the damage it can do once you shove it up your nose. It's this innocent little swab kills. Looks innocent. What are you talking about?
Complicated. Anybody like to see what it looks like? Should I open it?
Oh my God, we know what a swab looks like. What are you? Should I open it like it's a Christmas gift? This is like in the new hellscape that I rule over this is the new currency. We have a strong dollar and an even stronger swab. What is this goofy bullshit? Attack of the swab.
Everybody, open it up. I will.
This is super sad. This is so amazingly stupid. Like, how do you even live with yourself? Play it. Go. Why isn't it not rolling?
I will. This is what it's about.
Swab me.
Right?
Swab it. Swab me. Swab me, big boy.
Reminds you of this, right? One's a swab, one's a Q-tip.
Yeah, I don't care which one.
It's different.
Shove both of them up your nose.
It's very sophisticated, actually.
Yeah, it
is. It's a little bit like. So
are we drawing straws now?
And
come on, swab me.
They've ordered a lot of them. They have a lot of them. Some of them, some of the states, they were shipped to states, and the states don't know where they are.
Why not?
And but that's
wait.
it.
Hold on. Wait. They've been shipped to states, but the states don't know where they are. Asshole, you're in charge of telling them. This is okay. How many weeks in a row has Trump and has Biden and the Democrats and everybody else who used to run the pandemic response in this country talk to them about you need a tactical person overseeing where all this stuff goes, because it's not enough to drop off the package. You gotta ring the bell. This is so stupid. Most people don't even know where they are. I have boxes of them in my office, and you can't even find them. It's like an Easter egg hunt. We didn't get to have Easter, so now we will. And what is this? Play. Okay.
To Karen, perhaps she'll take an extra test.
Perhaps she'll take an extra test. What is this goon on? Come on, I know he's not a shipping clerk. Shipping clerks are qualified personnel who know what the hell they're doing. Like, that's...
Right?
Right? Yeah, right? You haven't been getting any sleep. Here, take another disease test. This is fun. The whole thing's fun. I can't believe it. Like, how many times does
This is a big deal. And we're working on it, and we're working with the companies. And
Get serious now. It's time to get serious. We're gonna
I
get
think
serious.
in the end, we're gonna have a tremendous success. Nobody is close to us. No country is close to us. In fact,
Yeah, I got swabs coming out my ass right now. Mike put them there.
and I appreciate it very much.
What? This is, I mean, this is like rich people who've already gotten the vaccine having a party going, anybody want a swab? Let's watch the Hunger Games of Q-tips. This is so nuts.
Wall Street Journal wrote a fantastic piece, a highly respected gentleman,
I've gotten great reviews.
Christopher DeMuth, and
He's holding up swabs and Wall Street Journal articles.
this piece
This is his Sunday relaxing. This is the new golf.
was just in the Wall Street Journal.
Come on, Trump. No, it's not enough. It's not, you can't leave me for swabs and for articles about goodness. I'm your only friend. You and I will hang out together. You miss me? You miss me. A swab is not a 7-iron. No, nor a 3-wood. No, Wall Street Journal will never be a replacement for the little card and the tiny pencil where you like to cheat. This is so stupid. Play, go. I don't understand.
Weekend edition.
Weekend edition. So it's got color pictures.
And Trump rewrites the book on emergencies. That's what's happened, too.
Yeah. He tore a bunch of chapters out and called it a rewrite.
And we just read one paragraph.
Oh, my God.
He's given pride of place to federalism and private enterprise, lauding the patriotism and proficiency of our fantastic
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
governors and mayors, meaning I do call them fantastic when it's appropriate.
Oh, my God. He's doing to the Wall Street Journal in inversion what I do to him. I got to comment on this. Holy smokes. What, how did...
And our incredible business leaders and genius companies, I guess I probably use those terms too, when they're doing a good job. When they're not doing a good job, I don't
it's almost like they're quoting you directly from Rupert Murdoch's paper after you called them and complained.
use those terms. Our heroic doctors and nurses and orderlies and our tremendous truckers, they have all done good jobs.
Uh-huh. Did you write this? Who wrote it?
By shouting out many of them by
You're saying Wall Street Journal. Does anybody know who wrote this?
name and documenting their deeds on a fully daily basis. He has vivified the American way in action.
Explain vivified, everybody. That caught him off guard.
Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused.
Oh, my God. TMI. It was hard to get it aroused. Oh, my God. Melania was just telling... We got to see that again. Oh, my God.
vivified the American
Oh,
way in action. Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but
oh my God. Ah. I can't. That's all right. Let's call it today. We're not gonna. I'm dying. Oh Lord. I can't. I need a moment. Oh, that was so good. Oh, I'm. One more time. I have to. One more time. Oh, Lord.
documenting their deeds on a fully daily basis. He has vivified the American way in action.
I'm not.
Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but we got it aroused.
He won't stop. He won't stop. That's 4. I swear to God, I have not watched this before. This is live, and I'm not. Every time I pause, I think that's the end of the quote. And so oh my God. This is one for the ages, everybody. Holy smokes. God. That is, I have to, hold on. I'm going to my Twitch thing and making a stream marker and making a clip of that because we have to save that for later. God, that's all I needed. I needed that today. I feel like tears of joy. No, I wasn't rewinding. Don't make me play it again. He said it 4 times. All right, I'm not going to stop it this time. I'm dying. I don't know how. Please cut to the audience. Please.
Aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but we got it aroused.
See what I mean?
When asked why he is not.
What? Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so good. No, that was straight through. Oh, God.
Issued orders for nationwide home and business lockdowns. He has emphasized that the intensity of the epidemic varies widely and is best met by calibrated state and local judgments. That's the judgments of governors and local people.
Gee, it's almost as if the Wall Street Journal wants to dismantle the federal government. When did that shit start?
And they added pointedly that such steps would conflict with the Constitution. But very importantly, he's just a very respected gentleman. To see this
Who?
was a very nice feeling.
I know this is like somebody in the middle of a play where people are getting booed off stage, coming back out with one review from a friend of his who's like, excuse me, this one said we'd run forever. I don't know what you people think you're talking about. Oh my God. This is
Not for me necessarily, but for all of the people that have worked with us.
No, you read this because they're complimenting you. This doesn't go, hey, the Army Corps of Engineers did a great job.
They've worked so hard, and we've developed tests that are so fantastic.
You didn't develop anything, and in a pandemic, every time this comes up, labs scramble to be the first to come up with the testing and vaccines and treatments. Every time.
We've come up with things that nobody had ever heard of, and we did it during this pandemic.
Yeah. You know why? Because you didn't prepare. You did not prepare. Okay. I tweeted earlier today an article from 2018 about how this asshole took the strategic reserve, the stockpile he keeps talking about, and took it away from the CDC, where individually the different departments, pandemic response, bioweapon response, the people in the CDC who deal with animal and livestock diseases versus human diseases, where they all have a responsibility for vetting the quality of treatments and materials for each of these diseases and areas of their expertise, and talking to vendors and pharmaceutical companies and private labs and universities to get the best stuff for those particular things. So if you're in charge of anthrax, you go out there and you find the best stuff for anthrax, and then you have to convince your uppers that this is the best one, right? So even if you're interacted with a lobbyist, the lobbyist would have to hit 3 or 4 people up the chain to motivate them to buy this particular series of testing situations or this vaccine or whatever. He took this whole thing, he took all of it and put it under under Alex Azar, under the Health and Human Services Secretary, out from the CDC and their individual departments, and put it under HHS, so that HHS could just talk to the vendors directly and take the bribes personally.
Under pressure. It's called reaction under pressure. It's pretty
Hal, you can share that Trump arousal confession when you're done. I got Trump arousal today, and Hal cried tears of joy. Oh,
amazing
my God.
what our people have done. And that includes all of our military people and our CDC, just about everybody you can imagine.
Just about everybody can. Let's see. Who can I imagine? I can imagine Pee Wee Herman right now, and I can imagine the cast of Jaws, and I can imagine most of the Avengers, and I can imagine a man. Let's see. Who else can I imagine? Let's see. I can imagine a giant cat with laser beams coming out of its head and that kind of thing. I can, I got a good imagination.
Including Tony and Deborah.
Oh, I didn't imagine them. I should have imagined Tony and Deborah. Hold on one second. Okay, done.
And they work long hours. There's nobody that's getting a lot of sleep. We're close to finalizing. I want to thank.
By the way, sleep deprivation makes people make stupid decisions.
The writer, Christopher, of this article, and it's a great article. That was, frankly, the least of it, what I read. It was a great article. We appreciate it.
Do we? Do we appreciate it? The guys, do we appreciate it? We appreciate it. Okay.
We're close to finalizing a second partnership through which a U.S. manufacturer would convert its existing plant to produce over 10 million additional swabs per month.
We're close to finalizing a potential situation where maybe in the future, at some point in the very near future, they might start converting a situation to produce a certain amount of swabs. So we're way ahead of this. We're way ahead of this.
And we should be ready to announce this in a very short period of time.
Yeah, ready to announce this I'm ready to announce it now. I can't. You know why? Because it's not true. See how that works? Unbelievable.
We also
what else? What's on your list? What else have you done? It's Sunday.
We're going to be using, and we're preparing to use, the Defense Production Act to increase.
Oh wait, we're using and preparing to use? How are you preparing to use? Does it require like straining really hard, like pooping? Wait, watch. I'm going to prepare to use the Defense Production Act.
Swab production in one.
What are you preparing to use? Use it.
U.S. facility by over 20 million additional swabs per month. We've had a little difficulty with one, so we're going to call in, as we have in the past, as you know.
No, we have never had a situation, Ebola, H1N1, when they were sending anthrax to congressional offices. We've never run out of swabs before. Remember when we ran out of swabs under Clinton? I bet Jimmy Carter didn't have enough swabs. Probably had a bunch of swabs and used them to build a house for some poor person.
In the Defense Production Act, and we'll be getting swabs very easily. Swabs are easy.
Are they? Then why don't we have them? If swabs are easy, why are you announcing that you're on your way to using the Defense Production Act to produce swabs? Why is it, if it's easy, why isn't it already done? Does anybody?
Ventilators are hard.
Are they? Really? Are they? You know what they're hard to do? Maintain. That's why you have a maintenance contract.
Ventilators are a big deal, and we
Uh-huh. Ventilators are a big deal. And you have hundreds of thousands on their way, right? But swabs, no big deal. Swabs are super friggin' easy. So why is there a shortage of swabs? Why is there a shortage of anything that's easy to produce? You know what we don't have a shortage of, though, guys? Hydroxychloroquine. I'm trying to move this shit. I got boxes and boxes.
are now the king of ventilators. We have
Oh, my God. He saw that trended and likes it. That we are now the king of ventilators. Dude, that's like being king of colostomy bags. Do you understand it's nothing to be proud of? I honestly.
so many ventilators. You know, I
So many ventilators. And then they realize,
said nobody that needed a ventilator has been turned down.
no, they've just had to use one that someone else is also on, doubling their exposure to the virus. If someone has a 80% viral load and they're paired with someone who has a 100% viral load, at the end of that, do they both have 90? No, it doesn't work that way.
It's pretty amazing.
Uh-huh. It's pretty amazing that we're short on swabs when they're so easy. Thank you, John Mahoney.
Working with the world-class team at Oak Ridge National Laboratory to use its injection molding capacity to potentially produce over 10 million collection tubes per week. That's tremendous numbers.
To potentially create. I love how he talks about shit that's not going to happen for a month like it happened a month ago.
In the meantime, the Supply Chain and Logistics Task Force continues to surge testing and
Yeah, do we surge to... yeah, I'm totally surging.
needed supplies all throughout America. Mike's team and the task force, they just met. They've been meeting virtually
They've never met before? The task force just met? They've been working together for weeks and they've never met each other?
every day.
Oh, they meet every day. Hello, who are you again?
And it's a great team.
Oh, good. All right. Well, good. Yeah. Okay, cool. Go. It's a great team, everybody. Don't worry about it. They're a great team. They can't handle swabs, which are easy, but they're a great team.
It's a great team.
Is it? Okay. Oh, good. Are they easily aroused?
Been doing a great job, Mike. You've been doing a great job.
Is it? Really? Because swabs are easy and we don't have any swabs. And they don't have any tests once they have the swabs. And those are easy too. Ventilators are hard. Swabs are easy. Where are the swabs? Why aren't there swabs? Huh? Please.
Many
tell me.
governors are doing this incredible work.
By themselves, without any help from us, and they're being incredibly effective. Meanwhile, others are telling their dumbass citizens to go out and hang out in bars and kill everyone. Great.
And they're working with us very closely on testing and working in their states. And again, it should be a local thing because it's all these points within a state.
No, the coordination of where can be part of a state's health department. But the actual apparatus of doing it is the federal government. You lazy, good for nothing, second generation, rich twat.
But we're helping them a lot.
Pardon my German.
And we want to help them a lot. We're going to help them more than a lot, actually. You think?
No, you're not. You're not helping them more than a lot. This is more than a lot. What's more than a lot? That reminds me of Carlin's bit about more than happy. It sounds like someone's mentally ill. I'm more than happy to do that. You're like, what happened to Gary? He's more than happy.
About it with what we've done.
No, if you think about it, you're an embarrassment.
Think of it. We've done more than all those countries combined.
Yeah, because the states are doing it on their own. And
We're encouraging them to share their successful strategies with
other states, okay, good. Guys, he's encouraging them to, gobs of, like, we're helping them gobs, loads. Once we can get this whole supply chain aroused, we'll get loads of help to the states, I swear. we'll be roping help across the state's faces. Sorry.
Governors, some of the governors are doing a better job than others.
Oh, yeah? Really? Which ones? You mean like New York, California, and Washington are doing a great job bending the curve, but Arkansas and Tennessee and Florida, not so much? Ridiculous. Play, silly. I don't know why this doesn't. It's acting up today. It's tired of it.
The robust capacity that we've brought online will empower governors to deploy sophisticated strategies so they can safely reopen their states. Some
Because
people
we got to be open. We got to open up. We got to open.
believe in testing very strongly, and other people believe in it less strongly, but still, it's a very good thing to have. I think.
What? Some of them believe in testing very strongly? What? Tell me which states don't think it's important to test. I'm going to go with it's not New York, California, Kentucky even for that matter. Where else do they have Democratic governors? Some red states just
can
don't
say
think.
that. Some people believe in it like they can't exist without testing, and other people don't believe in it nearly as much.
What does that mean? Who doesn't believe in testing?
They can see how they're doing, and they
Just by the dead people. Stacks of dead. It's a much better test. You know what I mean?
feel how they're doing.
Because instead of having a reading test in my state, what I like to do is just see how many people don't understand a stop sign. And I checked literacy rates in my state by how many traffic fatalities there are. Huh? That's a great job I'm doing as a governor. Aren't I smart? How does that even register as...
And they've been pretty vocal about that. I think you know pretty much who I'm talking about.
No, list them. You're listing all these companies. Tell me who.
But I believe if they want it, we should give it to them and get it for them and work with them.
But if they don't want it, then what? We let Americans die because their governors are assholes?
Just remember that the governors wanted to have total control over the opening of their states,
They did?
but now
Is that why other states have gathered together in groups to manage that so that if they have total control over not opening their state and their neighbor state opens up fully and sends a bunch of sick people in, it would wipe them out? Who in hell?
they want to have us, the federal government, do the testing. And again, testing is local. You can't have it both ways. Testing is a local thing.
Well, nobody thinks they're going to drive to D.C. to get a test. I'm tired of swabbing everybody. That was my last swab. I'm sick of doing all this testing. This is like, yeah.
And it's very important. It's great, but it's a local thing. And
It's only local because human beings live all across the country. There needs to be a federal response. You have access to information that individual governors do not. That's why we have a National Institute of Health.
we're going to get it done to a level
No, you're not. To a level that no one's ever seen before.
in a very short period of time.
Very short
because
period of time.
all of the swabs are coming in. All of
Are they? Well, you used one. You had one and you used it. Now you're down to 0 swabs.
the necessary materials. A lot of them, as I said, are already there. But
No, they're not. I love the whole, like, we dropped off a bunch of shit at the warehouse. What warehouse? Warehouse, the warehouse in your town. We got 40,000 warehouses. Where did you drop it off? I don't know. Nobody was there. We knocked.
people don't know that yet. But we'll be doing.
We doing what? What happened? That froze up. That was weird.
Before, but we'll be doing testing at a level that the biggest tester in the world will be very happy very soon.
Who's the biggest tester in the world? Aren't you? You're not gonna. Is he going to declare himself king of tests this week? What do you think? Friday? When do you think he calls himself? Yes. Joe Biden has wrapped it up and they still have to have a convention and they still have to have all the delegates awarded specifically, but Joe Biden is the nominee. We're now moving on to dealing with who his running mate will be.
And it is. It's very much like ventilators. You don't hear the word
You don't hear the word ventilators much anymore.
mentioned, and that's much tougher. Much tougher when you have to
If
build.
it's much tougher, then why haven't you handled the other problems easier? Can you only do one at a time? Is PPE not flowing simply because there's a Pez dispenser methodology going on? We can only deal with one candy at a time. That's all I can do. I don't know what to tell you. Play, you silly thing. This
machines.
feed
We built
is crazy.
thousands of machines. Will more than help the governors.
No, you won't. You won't more than help them. You'll help them. You're not going to more than help them.
And we'll make sure that everything goes well, just like it did with ventilators. Just frankly, like
Oh, yeah? It went well with ventilators? That's why you have people all over New York with 2 people on a ventilator?
it did with face masks.
And when you had to repurpose ones from anesthesiologists and tear ones out of private practices and doctors' offices to make up for the shortfall, is that how the federal government handled this well? Is that how good it was? Go ahead. Quit. Pause.
So on a much
jerk.
easier subject, as face masks, again, everything's easier than a ventilator. Ventilators are tough.
Then why are you late with everything else?
But now, I spoke yesterday with the president of Mexico and with various other countries. We're going to be helping them with ventilators. We have tremendous numbers of ventilators. In fact, I understand that Governor Cuomo is going to be sending up to Massachusetts some of the excess ventilators that we were able to get, and that's great. I think it's a great thing. The number of new hospital
No, that they were able to get.
admissions is also significant.
So if Oregon sends 140 ventilators to New York because they need them, because they're short, when they send 100 on to Massachusetts, aren't those really Oregon's being regifted? Or are you just going to, those are the
Really
names
down.
on
When
them?
you look at these numbers, it's a good thing to see, other than the fact that we also know how people have been just ravaged by this curse, by this horrible scourge.
Scourge. Holy shit. Dude, it's pronounced scourge. Scourge. Oh my God. How many weeks? How long does it take him
Plague,
to figure this
call
out?
it. It's got many
What is the
different names.
many different names?
In many of the hotspots,
Oh, I have so many different names. Oh. Yeah,
is
see,
also significantly down. When you look at these numbers, it's a good thing to see, other than the fact that we also know how people have been just ravaged by this curse, by this horrible scourge.
Scourge.
Plague, call it. It's got many different names. In many of the hotspots, including a 50% decline over a 9-day period in New York City.
What's,
That's
man,
a
are they choppy today? What's that?
fantastic decline. It's a beautiful thing to see after going through the opposite. We continue to see improvement with declining trajectory of cases in Seattle, Detroit, New Orleans, Indianapolis, and Houston metro areas. More evidence that our aggressive strategy is working, and I thank
No. Okay, those metro areas, that's mayors doing this. Hold on. I'm re-jumping the feed because it's
but
being...
nobody ever heard of anything like this. Not since 1917. More
Oh
than
my
100
God,
years ago.
again. I feel like I jumped into a feed from last week.
Has
Honestly.
anything like this happened? And in those days, they had no real communication, so you couldn't say go inside. Don't people just died.
Yeah, that's why we had a much higher death rate. We have a lot of other tools.
Almost 100 million people, it's reported.
Yeah, they only had 2 Corinthians to go on.
It's
We have 4 now. I'm the king of Corinthians.
tough. So the American people, what they've done is
Yeah. Yeah, no thanks to
is
you.
incredible, and they've learned a lot. And you see people.
Not shaking hands. We're probably never going to shake hands again. I heard some people say we're going to shake hands.
Picketing a little bit and
Picketing a little bit. Oh my
want to get
God.
out. They want to get out and get back with their lives.
Why is that? Why is that an example of people have learned something? What have they learned, that they want to not live inside all the time? That's an example of people not learning. Does that make any sense to anybody? Play.
But they have learned a lot. They've learned about distancing.
No, these people were shoulder to shoulder, elbow. They were smashed up against the glass, breathing down each other's necks, bouncing spittle off the glass into their neighbor's mouth. They've learned a lot.
Now, at least until this thing totally goes away, they've learned about their washing their hands and all of the different things that we've been talking about ad nauseum for so long.
Oh, you want to talk about ad nauseum? What is with the color of your face? And by the way, is there an arc of hair color for you? Is your hair, like, once it goes white, you dye it, it's bright, like highlighter yellow, and then it fades into this weird, like, day-old lettuce yellow color? Like 7-day-old lettuce? I don't know how long. Lettuce outside the crisper.
And they get it. They get it. And some
Do they?
places the governors are ready to go, and other places they can't go yet.
They already went. Sometimes I got to go right now. As a matter of fact, I have to take a disco dump, and we'll just come back when
They
Mike.
won't go. They want to. They have to have it safe. I want it to be safe too. It has to be safe. And again, I have to say this. I can't emphasize it strongly enough.
No, you
I'm
can't.
probably going to show you charts of some of the countries that are really having trouble.
You're
And,
probably wait. You're probably going to show us charts. Do you not know if you're going to show charts or not?
in particular is having a massive problem where they said, let's go. We're just going to keep going.
You mean Sweden?
Well, they're the lines that we're famous for now. Some are flat and some are up. This is like a rocket ship. This country is, and they decided, let's go and let's wing it. That's,
Yeah, let's right wing it. As a matter of fact, if you look at who's in charge of their government right now, see what that?
it was okay, but it's a problem. It's a big problem.
Yeah.
And there's another couple. There's one in particular that everybody thinks did it, but the people are staying in. Okay, the head of a country doesn't have to say stay in. These people are smart people. They know what's going on. They see what's going on. So they don't have to say. They can say they're not doing that, but the people are staying inside.
Huh? Even countries without leadership, most people aren't insane. That's fun. Okay, so I know there's a choppy
Not
issue
a lot of
with it.
people
Just
outside
there.
sitting at cafes, despite what the mode of a country is. But if you look at Europe, most countries have done this. A couple tried not to. Italy tried not to, and they held it. And Spain tried not to. They went that way. France tried not to. I mean, nobody wants to do this. It's a brutal step. We're going to close down your country. Who ever heard of a thing like this?
We did. We've been living in it for a month. And by the way, there are articles from 1918 and 1919 about this particularly. By the way, does anybody remember the 20s? The roaring 20s? Flappers, opioids, run amok, crazy parties, probably the greatest arc of promiscuous sex in human history until the 60s. Yeah, that happened 2 years after the Spanish flu went away. Just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying, plan your outfits accordingly. Thank you, Lisa Mia Moore.
But we would have had millions of people die if we didn't do this. Millions of people. And
Yeah, we would have had millions of people die if we did nothing. Congratulations.
I believe that, Mike. I think, in looking at things that we've been looking at over the last couple of days, I think, and really over the last couple of weeks, from the time we did it, shortly thereafter, I said we made the right decision in closing down, made the right
Yeah. You just did it late.
decision on borders.
No. 40 other nations had closed their borders to China. The major airlines had already stopped flights. China had already stopped people leaving Wuhan. But tell us again how you were way ahead of the curve. Good Lord.
People coming in from China,
Nope.
ultimately people coming in from Europe.
Nope. Still late. And that's where all the cases in New York came from.
But we would have had millions of deaths instead of,
If we did nothing.
it looked
Why is doing nothing an option? Why would you even present that as an option? You know what I mean? Like, we would have forfeit the world championship belt if we hadn't shown up for the fight. Yeah, we got knocked out, but if we didn't even show up, This is so weird. Play already. Thank you. It's not snappy today. It's definitely
We'll
slow.
be at about a 60,000 mark, which is 40,000 less than the lowest number thought of. So this isn't a case where people would say, oh, we would have had that.
No, we're not about 60,000. That number is for full mitigation through May and the amount of deaths till August. Till August. Does he not understand? No, he does not understand that point. I don't even know why I'm asking it. I don't know what I'm thinking. Yeah. Play, silly thing. It's not snappy today. I apologize on that. I don't know why that is. He's freezing the internet. See that? That's just weird. It's hung up. You hung up, son. Why is it? There we go.
Same thing as a flu at all, because if we wouldn't have done anything, you would have had, so a flu would have 35. It goes from 27 to 35, 40, 50 sometimes.
No, he's now auctioning off dead people from the flu.
It's over a long...
Come on, 25, give me 30, 35. How many flu deaths can we get? Almost 35, 37, 30. Do I know 37 was this wonderful heifer of disease? You're going to pick this up and we're going to 24, 40, 40, 45. 45 dead. 45,000 dead at 1-0. Unbelievable. Hold on. Come on, Snappy. What's wrong with you? Play. There we go. Didn't even have the menu up. This is laggy city today. All right. Time. I'm not listening to you guys. I'm not using your feed anymore. It sucks. Oh my God. How long is this friggin' thing? We're only this far into this thing? Jesus. Okay, I'm reloading that page real quick. See if it freaks out my thing. Don't go back to the top. You're not going back to the top. You are not. You are not going back to the... There you go. Reload, you crazy person. Okay, we're back. We're where she is. Oh, God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine jumping through all this nonsense? Hold on. I'm going to just me for a second while I fix this screen, because this is just aggravating. I don't understand it. Look at that. That's just... That is YouTube being really rude. But I can fix that. I'm going to fix it right now. Right now. We'll go to here. We'll go to there. We'll go to that one. We'll go to their feed. We'll change it entirely. Yeah. We've only just begun. I feel like we should have gotten out early anyways, just because of the, the getting aroused moment. Because that was really, that was peak nonsense, I have to say. Load up, you crazy thing. Take this, drag it back. Yeah, let's go back to here. There we go. Oh, thank God. It doesn't even look like it's... Oh my God, they're not going to play clips of Cuomo, are they? They do. Horrifying. Good God. Is he going to get mad at Cuomo, or is he going to play a clip of Cuomo? Oh, God. We'll see. Hold on. It's loading up. You guys doing all right? I'm just checking in with you guys till YouTube gets its act together. YouTube was acting very strange this morning. So I'm not quite sure what the issue will be in terms of that. I'm getting a couple of things for there, but you don't want to miss the Comedy Gold still to come. Oh, God.
Elective surgeries, they'll be able to start doing that.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting back
Italy
to
tried not to, and they held it. And
this whole business.
Spain tried not to. They went that way.
I don't need to hear all this anyways. Like, he's just going to say the same crap anyways. So we'll go back to this guy, and we'll switch. Yeah, there we go. I just have to update the task force window for this guy, and that's where I get wonky and start getting.
Well, can you leave it open? Nobody ever heard of anything like this. Not since 1917, more than 100 years ago, has anything like this happened.
But that's all right.
And in those days, they had no real.
Why am I not hearing audio? Super odd.
communication, so you couldn't say go inside. Don't people just
'cause it
died.
doesn't
Almost
transition, is that
100
why?
million people. It's
We'll see.
reported. It's tough. So the American people, what they've done is incredible, and they've learned a lot. And you see people picketing a little bit, and they want to get out. They want to get out and get back with their lives, and that's good. But they have learned a lot. They've learned about distancing, even now, at least until this thing totally goes away. They've learned about their washing their hands and all of the different things that we've been talking about ad nauseum for so long. And
we go.
they get it. They get it. And some places the governors are ready to go, and other places they can't go yet, and they won't go. They have to have it safe. I want it to be safe too. It has to be safe.
No, you don't.
And again, I have to say this. I can't emphasize it strongly enough. I'm probably going to show you charts of some of the countries that are really having trouble. And one in particular is having a massive problem
Oh God,
where
Sweden, we
they
don't
said,
care.
let's go. We're just going to keep going. Well, they're the lines that we're famous for now. Some are flat and some are up. This is like a rocket ship.
Thanks, Tom.
This country is, and they decided, let's go and let's wing it. That's, they thought it was okay, but
You thought it was okay.
it's a problem. It's a big problem.
Yeah, it is. Sweden, the name of the country. Say it.
And there's another couple. There's one in particular that everybody thinks did it, but the people are staying in. Okay,
Right.
The head of a country doesn't have to say stay in. These people are smart people. They know what's going on. They see what's going on. So they don't have to say. They can say they're not doing that, but the people are staying inside. There are not a lot of people outside sitting at cafes, despite what the mode of a country is. But if you look at Europe, most countries have done this. A couple tried not to. Italy tried not to, and they held it. And Spain tried not to. They went that way. France tried
No, they didn't. They were on their heels from day one.
not to. I mean, nobody wants to do this. It's a brutal step. We're going to close down your country. Who ever heard of a thing like this?
Oh God.
But we would have had millions of people die if we didn't do this. Millions of people. And I believe that, Mike. I think, in looking at things that we've been looking at over the last couple of days, I think, and really over the last couple of weeks, from the time we did it, shortly thereafter, I said we made the right decision in closing down, made the right decision on borders.
Oh God.
Banning
We've been through this.
people coming in from China, banning
40,000 people a day.
ultimately people coming in from Europe.
Right.
But we would have had millions of deaths instead of, it looks like we'll be at about a 60,000 mark, which is 40,000 less than the lowest number thought of. So this isn't a case where
Well, I've
people
been
say,
through
oh,
this
we would have
wrong.
had that number. It's similar to a flu. It's not the same thing as a flu at all, because if we wouldn't have done anything, you would have had, so a flu would have 35. It goes from 27 to 35, 40, 50 sometimes. It's over a long period of time, much different. It's even a much different death, to be honest. It's a much different death. This is
Oh, is it?
violent.
This one's
CMS is
fun.
finalizing new guidelines for doctors and patients to resume elective surgeries. It's a big thing. A lot of hospitals were closed. They couldn't do any elective surgeries. They'll be able to start doing that. Procedures and medical care that needs to be done in person. As long as the rate of infections remains low in a community, we want patients to be able to go to their doctors, get clinically tested, and have work done, surgeries, receive treatment for chronic conditions, and resume preventative care. So we'll be
Oh my God. Yeah, we know how it works.
allowing that to happen very soon. We had no capacity in the hospitals with what happened with the plague. We had no capacity
The plague. It's plague now, guys.
to do it. If your doctor believes you need a treatment in
He
person,
likes plague because he's been talking about Christians, and the Christians have all been referring to it as a plague because they make him an angelic figure, by the way. So whenever he mentions plague, that means he's spoken to an evangelical leader that day. Just saying. Right. Yeah. This is, it's not an accident.
you can
Play, you bastard. It's so weird.
that healthcare facilities have plans in place to keep patients safe during their visits. Some places like New York, New Jersey, where they really got hit hard, It's going to be a little bit tougher. They've done a great job, but they really were a center. I mean, they were a center. I was watching that. It was incredible. But
You were watching it, kind of like Bush watched Katrina
they're
out of a plane window.
they're leveling off, and I think they'll be coming down very soon. Administrator Seema Verma will be telling you a little bit more about it. Mike's going to say a few words. Seema will then speak, tell you a little bit more about that. My administration continues to execute our massive
Don't say execute.
military operation to supply our hospitals with equipment they
Yeah, like swabs.
need and beds if necessary, but it looks like we're
Look, we don't need any more beds. We're just sending people home to convalesce. If you reach that point, we can't just have you convalescing next to other people because you'll raise their viral count. This is it. And by the way, he doesn't go to church. They come to him. Church comes to Trump.
totally covered on beds. We have plenty of beds. It's highly unlikely. That would be bad news if we needed more beds, but it
Why? Because you don't have them?
looks like it's going just the opposite direction. I want to thank
How many people are dying at home? What's that number?
Governor Cuomo, the relationship there for this whole thing. We're building hospitals. It was very
No, you're not building hospitals. You're building temporary medical facilities.
good. We built a little bit more than we needed, and that's good, as opposed to building a little bit less. That's not good.
Oh.
But he's worked very well with us. The governor of
Got that, guys?
Louisiana has been great on the bed, on that whole situation
Oh, the beds in Louisiana are, don't ask me how I know that.
with the beds. Frankly, the governor of Michigan was very good with us on beds. You know, it's a very complex subject. You need
You know, beds are very complicated. They're not like swabs. You have to, I mean, I've never done, made up a bed in my life, but I'm in construction. I have a lot of hotels. They have beds in them. And just you should see how long it takes Melania to pick out drapes in the room, much less the sheet combos. Play, you silly thing. There we go. There you go. Takes a moment.
so you have to do a lot of different things, a lot of different ways. But the Army Corps of Engineers was
You have to go to IKEA, wander around forever, then the smell of the meatballs is so intoxicating.
fantastic.
How do you not have soft serve?
They were fantastic. Florida, likewise. Governor DeSantis.
Is what? There was a little hesitation there.
I could name probably 6 other locations.
Oh, yeah? Go ahead. Go ahead. Just off the top of your head. Don't look at your paper. Name 6 other locations off the top of your head.
I'll tell you one. California was fantastic. He was
All right. California. That's a pretty big area. Anywhere within California where they've really done a good job?
really good. He was really good, and I
And what was really good? That he said nice things about you on television?
appreciate the fact that he said what he wanted to say, and he wasn't letting the press force him
Oh, my God. That's why he's done a great job.
into saying something that he didn't want to say. So I appreciate
Because if he did, he wouldn't have gotten the materials that he needed from the federal government because you were in the process of cutting people off.
it very much. Governor of California. He really he worked very hard. We worked together. He worked very hard. The federal government is currently procuring more than 100,000 ventilators through new production or purchases, with thousands already delivered. We've delivered thousands of brand new ventilators.
No, you haven't delivered thousands of brand new ventilators. Other than the fact that they were like, what do you mean brand new? Like it's new to you? I mean, what does the government think that
all throughout
we store used ventilators in the strategic reserve in the stockpile? Do we stockpile used masks too? Honestly, what is that?
the country. New York would be, I guess, the biggest user. And they are now
You would guess, or you would look at the numbers,
taking some of their excess ventilators, which is great, and they're sending
which they got from Oregon.
them up to Massachusetts. I think it's 400, and that's a great thing. Our total supply of ventilators continues to exceed by a lot total expected demand.
No, not when you're doubling people on ventilators.
Governor Cuomo said today that no one who needed a ventilator was denied a ventilator. That's a beautiful.
That's true. They just had to share one with another sick person who has God knows what else in their system. Let's just and remember, if you use a ventilator, you're not just using the ventilator of that other person. You're using the ventilator of the last 10,000 people they slept
Statement.
with.
I appreciate it. And all governors are in that same position. We do have
All of them?
a clip that I thought would be appropriate to put up today.
Oh my God, we're reading Wall Street. All right.
It'll take 2 minutes, and I think you'll find it interesting.
A
but we
2-minute
appreciate
clip.
it. And let's see if we can do that. You'll turn out the lights, and we'll see if we can do that. Thank you.
We'll see if we can do that. It's the White House. You can't play a clip. I mean, I know I have problems, but I don't have the bandwidth of the Pentagon. Please continue. I know it'll take me a long time to play this, but it will. Oh my God. We're going to hear from the governor. Is there any audio? Is that me or is that them?
Phenomenal accomplishment. We bent the curve. We flattened the curve. Government did it, people did it, but government facilitates people's actions, right? We had to double the hospital capacity in New York State. That's what all the experts said. President brought in the Army Corps of Engineers. They built 2,500 beds at Javits that Michael and Northwell were operating. It was a phenomenal accomplishment. Close to 1,000 people have gone through Javits. Luckily, we didn't need the 2,500 beds, but all the projections said we did need it, and more, by the way. So these were just extraordinary efforts and acts of mobilization. And
by FEMA and the Army Corps of Engineers, it's what they do.
Federal government stepped up and was a great partner, and I'm the first one to say it. We needed help, and they were there. State and local governments were fantastic. The hospital system was fantastic. New Yorkers were fantastic. And that is an undeniable fact. Just to look at what they said was going to happen. CDC, Coronavirus Task Force, Cornell, McKinsey, all of them. And they had a line up here, and the actual line is down here. What do you owe the variance to? Heroic efforts on behalf of people as facilitated by government, federal and state.
Yeah, and?
We actually had something else. Are they finished with that?
Yeah, they're finished. No, there was not. He said something. No, play the clip where he says my name.
They left out the good part.
Oh my God.
Great job, fellas.
What was the good part?
They did a better job on ventilators. No. Andrew had something else to say that was really nice, but we won't.
About him, specifically. Name drop. There was not a volume drop. He was speaking off mic. Oh, I'm quiet now? That's weird. What's going on, you craziness? What's happening? Hold on, I'll fix that. I can fix anything. I've had to fly all this on my own. How about that now? I don't want to turn it up too much because then we'll get loudness and it'll drive everyone crazy. Hello, check. That's a little louder. Hopefully it won't go back to normal and then blast everything to pieces. I hope. Is the audio on the thing okay? On their clip? Hold on, we'll see.
Through that. But he
Nope.
really...
He's real. That's really low too, isn't it? That's odd. Mute and that's funny. We'll see. Like, super weird, by the way. He wanted them to play a clip where Cuomo was kissing his ass. Yeah, and Cuomo needs the test, so that's why they're pushing this. Absolutely.
It was really a good statement. Do you want to put the rest of it up, or do you not
Oh my God, you whiny bitch.
have it?
He's so pissed off. Oh my God.
I just think it's so good because it's bipartisan. You know, this is not about Democrats, Republicans. This is about
Democrats kissing my ass.
a thing that hit our country, the likes of which
No one could ever imagine. No one's ever seen before. Not since 1917.
has never happened to us before. Wars, those wars, Civil War, sure, but the First World War, the Second World War. They're not fought on this country. This is being fought in this country, but it's being fought in 184 countries all over the world. It's terrible. But I want to thank Andrew, Governor Cuomo, for the statement. He actually, if you go a little bit
Further, he says something nice about me. Oh my God.
further, it was even far
Even nicer, because he didn't thank doctors and nurses and the federal government in general and everyone. He name dropped me. That's what this is. Holy smokes. Pitiful. Look at you. What is wrong with your face?
not even that. So it was good. You remember?
Somebody's getting fired. You guys remember what he said?
Huh? Well, that's okay. Whatever. But he said some really good things, and
Holy smokes.
that's it. It makes people feel good. It's actually the Wall Street Journal. Christopher was saying, I want to make people feel good too. I want to make, when they're doing a good job, I want to make people feel good. I want the Admiral to feel good. He's worked
You want to get him aroused.
so hard. Mike has worked so hard.
Yeah, we know. Nobody's really got issues with them except when they don't do their jobs flatly. The problem is coordination. That's the weird part of this whole thing.
And it was very nice. It was on this morning. It was Andrew this morning. It's a little
So you can go back. You guys can watch it. He really is David Brent from The Office.
longer clip than that. But you
The British one.
see, it was really a very nice thing that he said, and people really appreciate that
Like who? You mean?
because they've done a great job. The federal government's done a great job. I mean, with all of it, and this is easy. The swabs that's easy. We have them coming by the tens of millions. We
Oh yeah, when?
have them coming at a
You got a
level
date
that
for me?
you'll have so many swabs you won't know what to do with them. That's easy.
I have an idea. How about we duct tape a bunch of them together and
So they'll all be there. A lot of them are there already. They're learning about their testing capacity that they didn't know about that we have in the various labs, including academic.
No, if you repurpose every possible lab in the country to do COVID testing, yes, there's a bunch of stuff. But the rest of life has to go on as well. You're not going to convert every veterinary clinic's lab into a COVID lab and count that as a potential possibility. Like that craziness.
You have to remember, you have a lot of these big colleges that have labs that are
Maybe that.
totally ready to help. But I want to thank
How
the
about this? Is that better?
Dynamic Ventilator Reserve because
The
what they've done
Dynamic
is incredible. It's
Ventilator-
a capital DVR, by the way.
Capital DVR, the Dynamic Ventilator Reserve. Oh, that is weird. That is low. Hold on. Let me turn this up. I don't know why that is. Check. That's super weird. All of a sudden is low. That's craziness. It is impossible to see why that has happened. It's a little better. Dun 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 dun. All right, we'll figure it out. This is okay for now, I think. If I bring them down a little bit and the whole thing up, we should solve it. Maybe. We'll see. It's jumping around on me today. I'll figure that part out later. It's just part of how we do. It's how we do. We just deal. We deal with our problems. This is like The Martian. Yeah. Okay. Play, you silly man.
An innovative public-private partnership. That's what we created. We're gaining access to up to 65,000 additional ventilators in hospitals across the nation that can be redeployed very quickly to areas with the greatest need when they're not in use. And we right now have almost 10,000 in our reserve. We've been able to give away thousands, like we helped Andrew, or we helped Phil in New Jersey is doing a great job. Andrew would tell you that too. They have a very good relationship working together and working with us. But we have, now we're back up to almost 10,000, and this is after giving away tens of thousands of ventilators.
Right.
And we're going to fill up the reserves of states. We're going to work with them so in case this happens again. But we're also going to help other countries. I was telling you, the president of Mexico, we're going to be sending a pretty large quantity to Mexico. They very much need them, and to other countries where they need them. I've had about 6 calls with leaders of other countries, and they need them. They're hard to
so
get
hard to
done.
make.
We did.
We've been
Our company
swabs. How
stepped
about
up,
that?
and they did an incredible job.
I'll give you. How about you give me swabs, and I'll give you a ventilator. I'll take. Let's see, 2 swabs. How many is 2 swabs? How many ventilators is a swab? In the international currency exchange that we all live in right now. Hold on. I'm gonna try and bring my voice up. Hopefully, it will be a little better. Check, 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 check. 1, check 2, check 3, check, check. Is that a little better, you guys? Hey, I don't want to be too hot. That's all right. Too hot lady. We're gonna solve all this together. It's Sunday. I'm muffled. Why would I be muffled? It sounds all right now. Echoing? All right, you. What's happening? Is there another mic that's on all of a sudden? Is there an auto thing in here? Okay, hold on one second. Which one is the external microphone? This might get a bite. Check. Check 1. Why is that weird? Huh. I don't know what that is. It looks loud from my end. Feedback. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, the feedback was fixed. Very muffled. Huh. What could that be? Muffled still. I'm talking into the right side of the mic, that's for sure. Nope, that's not going to do it. No high end, that's weird. Okay. Check 1. Yeah. I did unplug it and plugged it back in. Do I sound like I'm underwater? Oh, that's worse. Okay. Low now. All right. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. It's all right. I beg your pardon. Check. I sound better than Trump. Well, on a personal level, sure. Let me see 1 second. Yeah, that looks incredibly low all of a sudden. I'm not sure why. Check. Can you just not stand it? Is this thing just everybody's feet? Hey, check. Sorry if there was a huge bump. That's my fault. It's fading. It's really odd. What could it possibly be? Oh my, I know, I think. Wait a second. Did my little ear things go out? No, they're all right. This is what happens when he has one of these damn things on loud tracking. Sorry, I'm microphone port. Second 1 2. Microphone port. Second 1 2. Is that a little better? Check 1. Check 2. I'm coming back. I'm trying. Checking if it is the Rooskies again. It's super odd. More Hal. More louder. Yes. Hal, send the yes, I've got a My Pillow in there. Teeny bit. It goes every time it's ready to get loaded. White noise. Ooh, buzzy static. That's terrible. Okay, hold on. Let's try something else. Let's fall back to my burrito mic. I don't like it. It's all fuzzy. It's annoying. This same thing he does every day is how to net. I don't need any the
And I did not. But what are you going to do? All right, so there's that. And that's going to be loud all of a sudden and drive everybody crazy. But at least it's there, and you guys can hear me. You guys hear me now? It'll just be regular. But yeah. Is that good? No audio still there? Got it back? Yeah, it'll take a second to catch up. Better? All right. Oh, fix your mic. Trump would have fixed it by now. Yeah. Look, microphones are easy. Swabs are hard. Yeah. So we'll do this. Hopefully it's not too loud with him, but fingers crossed. Off we go, and there we go. This is the whole thing. This is what happens when I spend my morning making breakfast and not working on tech issues for you guys. That's what happens. That's why the issue is. Better than the muffled stuff. I do sound like I'm in a barrel. Yeah, that's because I'm using a microphone that's on the camera. But it'll be fine. I'm not redoing all this stuff again. Get out of here. I don't want to see a trip. I don't want to see a clip of him. Let's just go to here. Can we just go to the Q&A? Because I don't need to hear any of the rest of this BS. I do blame myself. This is all on me. Neglect the woman for us. I will not. I will not. This is still loading, so give it a second. But you know what? Let's just relax together. You know what? It's too much pressure. It's a Sunday. We're all fine. It'll start when it starts. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't want to, this idea that we have to freak out about it is just not right. You know? The whole point of doing this is that we're all breathing deeply and we're figuring stuff out, and we all look at the bright side. None of us look like that. What is that? What is that colorization? What would you deem that color? Anybody? Anybody got a color on that? Hold on, I'm bringing this back up too. Let it reload at that position because it's just being a jerk. Criminy, he's still at it too. So weird.
Now we're at a level that we've never been. Same with our military. Our military, it's ever.
Oh, I don't care. Let's just jump to the Q&A part of it because I don't need any more of this dude than I have to.
It's unrivaled. It's totally unrivaled. There's never been anything like it. The FDA and Dr. Stephen Hahn, highly.
O'Hara's treachery has disgraced us.
Like we helped Andrew, or we helped Phil in New Jersey. He's doing a great job.
There we
Andrew
go.
would tell you that too. They have a very good relationship, working together and working with us. But we have now we're back up to almost 10,000, and this is after giving away tens of thousands of ventilators.
Broken ventilators, do you mean?
And we're going to fill up the reserves of states. We're going to work with them, so in case this happens again.
They'll know who not to call.
But we're also going to help other countries. I was telling you, the president of Mexico, we're going to be sending a pretty large quantity to Mexico. They very much need them, and to other countries where they need them.
Yeah, we've been hearing the same story for 5 days.
I've had about 6 calls with leaders of other countries, and they need them. They're hard to get done. Our companies stepped up and they did an incredible job. Some of them were automobile companies, and they take an assembly line and they'd say, guess what? We're making ventilators now for a while. But because of the historic steps that we've taken, I remain confident that every American who needs any of this equipment, any of the things we're talking about, will either have it now, already has it, or will shortly have it through.
Or it'll show up right after you die.
Project Airbridge.
How about refrigerator trucks? How are we doing on those?
We've completed 64 flights.
Project Fighting Eagle, flying the forts across the country. Project Fighting Eagle, flying it through the thing.
Carrying over 600 million pieces of personal protective equipment, such as gloves, gowns, and other medical gear, with 50 more flights scheduled in the very near future. The team doing that is an incredible team of military people and young geniuses. Some are older geniuses, but mostly younger geniuses, I think I can say. Some of people that made vast amounts of money in Silicon Valley. And, you know, these are very smart people. The job they've done is incredible. And I said, where do you come from? Well, I sold my company, sir. Oh, really? How much did you get? I think he said $700 million. I said, that's good. You want to work for the government? No, I want to help our country, sir.
Sir, I sold my business, sir.
And it's tremendous brain power. It's a beautiful thing to see. Young.
Do you want to come work for the federal government? You mean for you? No, thank you very much. I need to have a career. I'd rather help the people than work for the government. Listen to what that meant. Understand what he just said. Like, that's incredible. Yeah.
Incredible people that love this country, and they worked with the military. Admiral, you would say they were pretty smart, right? They were in the upper scales of IQ. They were the upper. They were the top scale, I'll tell you.
I'm Big Broad Cookies, by the way. We've got provisions coming in. Live hot cookie provisions. Thank you. I'd have her give me a kiss, but she's got her Jemima rag on for housework, and she'll get mad at me. This is, yeah.
And they're great people. But FEMA is working to commit another $384 million to produce another 64 million gowns for healthcare. These are the highest quality, where they're very safe. When you put them on, they're safe.
Is this a mistake? Am I endangering forever associating the taste of a warm chocolate chip cookie with this idiot's voice? No, it's okay. I'm not blaming you. Moist.
Very important. The quality of the gown is very important. It's people.
These are Trump gowns.
In different places, different countries, they're wearing gowns with cuts in them, and
there are people wearing garbage bags in our own hospitals. What are you talking
they're
about?
very safe. I want to thank America's textile manufacturers
Thank you, Corinne.
for their partnership in this remarkable undertaking. 2 U.S. companies, Hanes and Standard Textile,
Yeah, don't forget to wear your underwear on your head if you don't have a mask.
are on track to
Briefs, not boxers. They have to be form-fitting.
produce 5 million
Dong, da, dong, dong, dong.
gowns by the end of the month. And that's really moving. That's really moving. 2 great companies, you know those companies. Another great American company, Honeywell, recently began manufacturing
Yeah, a week ago. We heard this already.
N95 masks in Rhode Island.
Yeah, the U.S. government built them a factory that they get to keep tax-free after this is over. I mean, wouldn't you do that to make masks for a 6-month period?
Where they converted a factory in less than 5 weeks instead of the
Yeah, they bought one out.
9 months it was normally expected to take. So they've already done it, and they did it so rapidly. 5 weeks instead of 9 months. It's amazing, the spirit of this country. It's really about the spirit of the country. We said
It's an emergency. It's amazing how fast people run when a car is plowing through. You never see them run like that, even when they're jogging. Like, it's so weird. Yeah, there you go. Uh-oh. Did we cut the questions? What happened? It leapt ahead, yeah. YouTube, you're being really weird today. I'm saying, earlier today you didn't want to play the stream. It's kind of a dick move. Now you're really lagging like crazy. Let's just go to the question Q&A. I don't need to hear more of this nonsense. This is all just sales pitch, and it's the same
But I
thing.
can tell you that very simply, the level at which they're approving things, tests, and being on top of the people that are doing the testing for therapies and for vaccines they've never seen anything like this. So I want to thank you very much, and stick.
Because of the disease they're dealing with.
Maybe they'll have some questions. Okay. Please.
Please.
Go ahead. In the back.
Mr. President, thank you very much. If there were groups of people planning to protest tomorrow against the government shutdown, what would be your advice?
Against the shutdown?
That they want the shutdown lifted. Should they
Maybe
go
they want
ahead
to
if
lift it,
it's
yeah.
in a state where
Hey,
there haven't been
I
14
don't have
days?
any arrests. People feel that way. You're allowed to protest. I mean, they feel that way. I watched the protest, and
He
they
didn't ask about what they're allowed to do. He asked what your advice would be to them.
were all 6 feet apart. I mean, it was a very
They were not anywhere near 6 feet apart.
orderly group of people, and but you know, some have gone too far. Some governors have gone too far. Some of the things that happened are maybe
Let me tell you, Virginia's Second Amendment, is that where we're going?
not so appropriate. And I think in the end, it's not going to matter because we're starting to open up our states. And I think they're going to open up very well. We're going to be watching it. We're going to be watching it very closely. We're working with them on testing. We're working with them on whatever they need. I don't think they need ventilators anymore.
Yeah, they've gotten together in groups of states. They're ignoring you entirely.
I believe the term the governor used was phenomenal. We've done a phenomenal job. That was the term that was the only sentence
Yeah, the Army Corps of Engineers.
they left out, which is
God. Owie.
okay. But I appreciate that that's what Governor Cuomo
But
said.
what's
But
your
we have- they've
advice to them, not whether or not they have the legal right to go outside and
done
protest?
phenomenal. These people have done a phenomenal job.
So, what's your advice to people who are gathering in groups to protest the lockdown in areas where the case rate is still going up? Dummy. So weird.
As far as protesters, I see protesters for all sorts of things, and
Yeah, but normally, like, no one's catching the clap at the Women's March.
I'm with everybody. I'm with
I'm with everybody. Well, that's leadership.
everybody. Please, in the back. Go ahead. In the back.
OAN, one of you people.
Go ahead. You ready? Yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you, Mr. President. Jen Pellegrino with OAN. Yesterday,
What? Who? Pellegrino? San Pellegrino with OAN? Really? Please tell me your name is really San Pellegrino.
you pointed out that Iran was likely not truthful in the reporting of the virus. Meanwhile, Senator Dianne Feinstein and other Democrats are looking for $5 billion in aid to Iran. Are you considering giving any aid to Iran?
If Iran needed aid on this, I would be willing to do something if they want it, if they ask for it. I would be certainly willing. They were hit very hard. Obviously, those numbers weren't correct numbers that they reported. But if they needed help, if they needed aid, if they needed ventilators, we have thousands of ventilators currently on hand, and ventilators under construction, that are under construction. That's a mosquito. I don't like mosquitoes.
There's a mosquito in. People on camera can't see the mosquito flying around. So, what are you going to get? Malaria? Secondly, it looks like you're pointing at her and calling her a mosquito. That's so weird.
I don't like mosquitoes at all.
Thank you. I'm glad there's another quote for the time, whatever. I don't like mosquitoes at all. Well, okay, good. Put that down in your Trump scrapbook. Who loves mosquitoes? What are you talking about? Wait.
But if they, we would certainly be willing to help. What they should do is be smart and make a deal.
Squirrel!
It's only because of, you look at what happened. It's John Kerry, I guess, just doesn't want them to make a deal. And they're
What are you talking about? This is about aid for them, not whether they're actually going to functionally be involved in a. I mean, that deal is gone anyways. There is no new deal for them because they have no reason to believe it will be kept by you or your administration. There's not going to be another deal until you leave. That's
probably figuring they can wait. And maybe it will be Biden and they'll own America if Biden gets.
Iran will own America. Did you hear that, guys? Iran will own America.
And they know with me, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, you don't keep up your end of a deal ever, you mean?
It doesn't work that way.
You're not trustworthy?
If Joe Biden...
No one can rely on you. If states can't rely on you, why would Iran?
Then
Is
they
that what you're
own
saying?
America. Between them, China, Japan, Mexico, Canada.
Japan? What did Japan do?
They'd own America. You wouldn't have a country left if he got in.
You wouldn't have a country left if he got it. You wouldn't have a country like this. Not with the kind of country we've got right now. Oh, lucky you. This is amazing. Needed on Periscope. I tried to put that in there. Hold on.
Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, the first question, you mentioned that you've seen some governors, I think you said this yesterday too, that some governors you think have gone too far. Which governors are you referring to, sir? Which states?
I don't want to mention names specifically, but obviously one we can mention that's this, but really
Hold on.
much
Yeah,
beyond
hold on.
this is Virginia with what they've done on guns. He is playing with your Second Amendment. We can't allow that to happen.
Yeah.
And that is indirectly related to this, because you know what's happened with guns.
Why? Yeah, because people bought a lot of buns. Listen to me. I just got another cookie. That's what made me think of it. Not some are leaving the room. If you know what I mean. Just saying. Oh, play, for God's sake. There you go. There's such a delay on it today. It's weird. I'm going to fix this when we're all done, but who cares? Like this, the gun thing is just because people think they're going to be
buying guns at a level that you haven't seen before.
Because they think they're going to be opening fire on their fellow citizens because there will be no food.
Because of this surge of plague.
Surge of plague. Great.
So what he did was totally inappropriate. Other than that, I'm not going to mention governors, but
I'll only mention one state because of guns.
I have a list: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
On money, sir,
Okay. Name the other 6.
you mentioned off the top that you hope that a deal may come tomorrow on the small business loan program.
Well, I hope so.
But, you know, this morning Mnuchin seemed like this was ready to go. It seemed like any second now. Is there any changes there?
Look, you know, every time you say it's ready to go, then they say, oh, we have a good negotiating position now because he just said it's ready to go. So now let's see what happens. But we want to take care of our workers. We want to take care of our small businesses. They're really the engine of this country. We have to take, when we open, we want to have those small businesses ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want those businesses abandoned because they couldn't.
Again, is that the option? Abandon small. Where's the abandoned small business caucus in the House or the Senate? Who is that? Yeah. Like,
Their employees, they couldn't take care, and I want to take care of those employees. I can't tell you that. I can just tell you that we're negotiating with the Democrats, and you know, they negotiate for things that we can't do, that we don't think are in the best interests of the people of this country. We are very close to a deal.
Like, you mean like voting? You mean protecting the post office? Shit like that?
I can't tell you whether or not we're going to get the deal or not. Who would say that? You want me to say we're going to have a deal before we have a deal? We have.
You just said we're going to have Q-tips or swabs before we have swabs. You've been saying we're going to have ventilators before we have ventilators. You're going to say the states are going to get help before they've gotten help. Why stop now? Super weird. Oh, that's just frozen. It's weird. Okay, there we go.
Good chance of getting a deal. A lot of good discussions were had today. We have a good chance of getting the deal. We want the deal. We want to take care of our workers. We want to take care of our small companies. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a question for you and also for Dr. Hahn, if I may, after I answer your question.
Sure.
O'Hara's treachery has disgraced us.
In your remarks that you made just a few moments ago, in regards to reopening the U.S. economy, you said, I want it to be safe. And that's a sentiment obviously shared by tens of millions of Americans.
I want it to be safe.
And it seems at odds, Mr. President, with the tweet that you had on Friday about liberating those 3 particular states, Virginia, Minnesota, and Michigan, because none of those states, Mr. President, have met the requirements that the Vice President and others on the task force have talked about in terms of reopening the economy. Do you see those two
Well, if you
ideas
take Michigan, there were things in the Michigan that I don't think they were necessary or appropriate. Everyone knows that. I think the governor of Michigan, we're getting along very well, but I think the governor of Michigan probably knows that. I think she probably wished she didn't put some of them in. You can't buy paint, you can't buy seeds. Where did this stuff come from? No. We're going to be.
You can buy paint and seeds. Retail stores were held up.
We have to be.
What?
And we don't want to close anything. We're not going to be closing, but we're going to be doing it.
We don't want to close anything. We're not going to be closing.
Beautifully, systematically. We're working very well.
Oh, thank you, Richard.
I mean, I would say pretty much almost all of them. A couple of them, no matter what you do, you'll never satisfy them. You could find a cure tomorrow, and they wouldn't be satisfied. They'd find a reason to complain. Wise guys, but
wise guys.
But we're working very well with the governors. We have a great relationship with the governors. I can tell you, I've been on numerous calls with governors, and during those calls, I mean, without exception, they were friendly. And that's going back even a month from today. So I think that we're going to do a terrific job. I think the governors are going to do a terrific job, and we're starting to open our country. And, as you know, I just spoke with Greg Abbott today from Texas. He's fantastic. He's a fantastic governor. And he's going to be opening up parts of Texas. And you're going to be opening up parts of other countries, other states. And you know what that is. And by the way, other countries are at a point where they're starting. I see where Germany's starting to open up a little section. So there are a lot of great things happening. And we're going to start to open our country.
Yeah, but start to open is in direct contradiction to the Liberate Michigan, which sounds like a gun, like a call to arms for gun nuts.
And we're going to do it. It's like, as I say, it's like a beautiful puzzle. A state might even be a portion of a state. There are states, very big states, and you can have portions of states, Mike. You have a portion, you have a county, which is perfect, and you have another county that's sort of still pretty far away, even if it's within the same state. And it's not.
Yeah, and if people from the county where it's not perfect go to the county where it is perfect, how perfect do you think that county's going to stay? Who has the staff? Who has the staff?
So we're going to be.
Who has the staff to be able to watch all the roads going in and out of counties? Like
very carefully, and I think it's going to be very successful. But when you say safe, I want it to be very safe. Hey, let him just do this one.
Let him just do this one because he wants to. Hold on, I've got to. Yeah, there you go.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hahn.
Doctor.
There's a question that I don't know the answer to, and I was hoping that you could provide an answer to. There's an epidemiologist at the University of Alabama in Birmingham who's actually a COVID-19 survivor, and his name is Michael Say. And his question is this: why would the virus suddenly be different? And why would people's susceptibility be any different on May the 1st, or on June the 1st, or on July the 1st? And this all relates to reopening the economy. Can you explain or give an answer to that particular question?
No.
I don't think we have evidence that one would be more susceptible or less. What I think we can say is that the mitigation efforts have really helped with respect to this.
Oh, all right. Okay, so what happens when you stop the mitigation, which was the last 5 questions that have been asked?
And that what we've seen is the number of cases have gone down. And if we
because of mitigation. So what happens when you lift the mitigation?
Follow the gating criteria for the opening, we're then able to institute phase 1 and have the appropriate measures in place to actually reduce any chance of flare-up of the cases.
Is there a chance of a sort of rebounding if you reopen too soon without the type of mitigation efforts that we've had still in place?
Yes, there's a chance. And I think Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx talked about this at the podium. And the key here is the surveillance that is being put in place with the CDC. I think that'll be a really great help in terms of trying to reduce that.
It will be? Yeah, probably. If you have full tracking and tracing in the CDC, that would be great. When's that happening? It's not. It's that simple. Play. This is so slow today. Sorry, everybody. There you go.
Thank you.
And I think they have the rest of that clip. I just thought it was a very good clip. I think it's a tribute to New York. I think it's a tribute to the federal government. And I thought it was nice. So I think they have that now. They can try it. Go ahead.
Jesus, we're now going to watch the extra part where he says Trump was doing a good job. Is that what we're doing?
Have we saved everyone? No. But have we lost anyone because we didn't have a bed, or we didn't have a ventilator, or we didn't have healthcare staff? No. The people we lost are the people we couldn't save. Not for lack of trying and not for lack of doing everything that we could do as a society, not only as a government and as a healthcare system.
Okay. Yes, I did.
What?
Since you shared
That, by the way, that wasn't the clip he was hoping for.
On TV today. I have a question about something you said on Thursday, which is that you were angry because information about the virus should have been told to us earlier and a lot sooner. People knew it was happening and people did not want to talk about it. Many Americans are saying the exact same thing about you, that you should have warned them the virus was spreading like wildfire through the month of February instead of holding rallies with thousands of people. Why did you wait so long
Who are you
to
with?
warn them?
Who are you with?
And why did you
Yeah.
not have social distancing until March 16th?
Who are you with?
I'm Weijia Jiang with CBS News.
So
Get him,
you look
Wade.
at what I did in terms of cutting off or banning China from coming
Neither of which is true.
in.
Chinese nationals. But by the way, not Americans who are also
Nice and
coming
easy.
from China.
Nice and easy. Just relax.
Nice and easy.
We cut it off. People were amazed. These gentlemen, everybody was amazed that I did
They
it.
weren't amazed.
We had 21 people in a room.
They were amazed because you were pushing back so hard. They're like, oh shit, he finally did it. It only took us 2
Who was
weeks.
against it but me. Dr. Fauci said, had I not done that, perhaps tens of
What about February?
thousands, and maybe much more than that, people would have died. I was very early, very, very early. And we just saw, you saw Brett Baer making a statement. They had a debate well into February, and not even mentioned, it wasn't even mentioned, the Democrats. We were
Joe Biden said in January we were unprepared. He released a statement about it.
very early. Oh, I'm the president. And you know what I just did?
So quickly.
And you know what I
And
just,
by the way, when you issued the ban, the virus was already here.
okay, and you know how many people, when I issued the ban, how many cases of virus were in the United States when I issued the ban? Do you know?
No one knows. No one knows how many cases were in the country because we weren't testing and it was already here. He's going to say 1 or 2, and no one knows how many cases because of asymptomatic spread. But yeah, so go ahead. Tell us.
The number?
There was
No, how many cases? Remember I said one person. How many cases were here when I issued the ban? Tell
Did
me.
you know?
No,
it was
no,
going
you have to do
spread
your
and
research.
become a pandemic?
How many?
I did my research. On the 23rd of March, you said you knew this was going to be a pandemic.
Can I tell you what?
well
I did
before-
know it. I did know it. All I have to do is look.
So you knew it was
All
going to
anybody
spread.
knew it. Just are you ready?
Anybody knew it.
How many cases were in the United States when I did my ban? How many people had died in the United States?
So do you acknowledge that you didn't think
Keep
it
your
was
voice
going
down,
to
please.
spread?
Keep your voice down.
Did you not?
Keep your voice down. Oh, man.
How many cases were in the United States? I did a ban where I'm closing up the entire country. How many people died?
Only to Chinese nationals, like she said. Only to people who are from China here on a first-time visa. Anybody else who'd been to China could come in. What in the world?
How many people died in the United States? And yet I closed up the country, and I believe there were no deaths, 0 deaths at the time I closed up the country.
We don't know, by the way, either, if there were other deaths. Because people might have just died of an extreme form of pneumonia, and we won't find out later until they were able to test them, because we don't have enough tests for the people who are actually just in the hospital. You know?
Nobody was there. And you should say thank you very much for good judgment. Go ahead, please.
Jesus Christ. Ugh.
You just mentioned Germany. Germany is allowing small stores to open
Yes, they
tomorrow.
are. I just spoke to
Does
them.
this give you confidence that some European countries are on the mend of recovery?
Well, I hope so. I
And
mean,
will
we
you
hope it works
restrict-
out. Look, I
Will
spoke
you lift some
I spoke with
restriction on
Angela.
them?
I spoke with Angela. They're going to start a process of opening, very much like we are. We are too. I spoke with
No.
numerous governors. They're doing it also. Areas that have been that where the number one they've done a good job, and where they don't have much of a problem.
They don't have much of a problem because they have smaller states with fewer people in them, and they are not testing to see where the disease is in their states. Tell us about South Dakota. What are you
Germany's
talking
starting
about?
the process also, yes, and I'm very happy about that.
Are you?
Some places in Europe, as you know, can't start the process for a while. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, I have 2 Nevada questions. First one, the mayor of Las Vegas thinks it's total insanity for business to be shut down in Nevada, which the governor Sisolak ordered. Who's right?
Well, they shut one of my hotels down too. Okay, so, you know, no, I'm not involved in that. I could be if I wanted to. I just chose not to be. By the way, just so you know, I could be if I wanted to, but I chose not. But they closed a very big hotel that I have in Nevada down in Las Vegas. It's a very severe step he took. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. But, you know, you could call that one either way. I know the mayor's very upset with it. Some owners are very upset with it. Some of the developers out there are very upset. Others, they say, hey, we got to get rid of it. I can.
Yeah, that's why you need a governmental response. Because if you left it up to the hotels, it's kind of like leaving it up to, oh, I don't know, the states. Because
both sides of that.
You can see both sides of that. Well, thanks. That's leadership.
Question. I asked you recently about an SBA rule that said that paycheck protection money could not go to small casinos. You said you'd look into it, and clearly something happened.
They are looking
Yeah.
into it right now because they do have, you know, they have small casinos that don't have too many people, and they are looking, and they're going to make a ruling, I understand, next week.
They already did make a ruling, and they changed it from small casinos that make more than a third of their income couldn't qualify to half.
I know, but they're looking at that. They're continuing to look at that. It's a big topic. Good luck.
He doesn't know what she's talking about. He doesn't know. He has no idea what she's talking about. He bluffed his way out of the top of that, and then he's like, you know, there's still more stuff. He has no idea. Ridiculous.
Let's give it a shot.
Oh my God, he's gonna hate this one.
You know, Governor Cuomo, as you played in that clip, has indeed praised a lot of what the federal government has done, but he...
Excuse me. He didn't say a lot. He said we did a phenomenal job. He didn't say...
He said the federal government has done a phenomenal job. And that the nurses and doctors and the New York citizens and the state governments. Good God.
A lot. He didn't say you did a good job on ventilators, but nothing else. No, he said we did a phenomenal job. So report accurately, because you are one of the most inaccurate reporters. Go ahead.
What he has said is that, and along with a bunch of Republican governors who've said what they need, though, is a national strategy when it comes to testing. Because on supplies, they say that they're competing against one another.
They said the same thing with ventilators, and now we have so many that we're going to be able to send them and help other countries that are in need. We're doing...
Yeah, but testing has never been a question. The actual material to treat a specific disease, if you found out that you needed certain antigen tests or certain antibody tests or very specific aspects of treatment mainly, like if you had, for whatever reason, it contaminated some aspects of the emergency room. So you needed to replenish and get rid of some aspect of a piece of tech that you used for individuals, or they needed a specific type of respirator, or people's, all of a sudden some disease makes everyone's eardrums bleed, and therefore they had to treat them specifically with an apparatus that you had to make on demand at the time. You'd always be rushing to catch up with that kind of thing. But the materials used to take tests and administer tests, especially anything that you know is an influenza-like illness, which this is not, or a coronavirus, it's all the same shit. You need the same materials to do the testing for these broad-based diseases. You might find, for example, that an odd aspect of a coronavirus is that it affects the liver, and there was all these secondary liver things, and they need to be able to put in like abdominal tubes to drain off stuff, and they were running out of those because it was specific to the treatment of the disease. But the swabs, for example, that's the part anybody knows is necessary. I don't understand his lack of ability to just grasp this. It's
on testing, and we are actually using the act, as you know, on a certain company.
But what about on the reagents? They say that that's something that they can't
we're in great shape. It's so easy.
We're in great shape, and it's so easy.
Yeah, that reagents.
Is he just printing ads for this fall? Is that what he's doing? Like, he thinks this is going to end at some point, and none of this tape will matter because the economy will be so big in November, it won't matter. That's what this is. Like, he just doesn't think it'll, like...
Swabs are so easy to get. When you have to build a very expensive piece of machinery controlled by computers, that's a different thing. And
right. So why can't you just get enough swabs? If swabs are easy, why is there a shortage of swabs? Answer that.
No, we'll have, everything's going to be in very good shape very soon. We're going to be in very good shape very soon. Yeah, please go ahead.
Just the latest stimulus package, will that have funding for states and local governments?
Well, I don't want to comment on it, but we will be saving that for another time.
Will you be willing to?
And by the way, some states and local.
By the way, HHH and YouTube, if you don't vote and you didn't vote, you are complacent. That's how this works. You acquiesce.
Governments need it. I'm the first one to admit that. We're going to be saving that for another little bit of a later date. Will probably be our next negotiation. But they do, I'm in favor of it, I will say. And I told the Republicans today, I had, I think, a great talk with Republican senators today. And all of them, I think, just about all of them. And conference call. And we
really, they weren't all just sharing one phone?
Are going to be, that'll be a very big topic over the next couple of weeks. It's very important.
And what is the administration doing to make sure that the hotel chains and hedge funds?
Well, that's
do not
another one.
access,
Yeah, no, that's
funds?
another one. You have hotels that are big, massive buildings that are under-levered, but if you have no income at all coming out, no income at
Under-levered? Does you mean under-leveraged?
all. These hotels are, they go from under-levered to, they have to be closed down. It's a terrible thing. I don't know that they're working on that specific problem, but it's a problem they should be talking about. I mean, you have people that own a hotel.
No, tell us how hotel business works. This will be good.
Where they go
Get your pen out.
having a very successful hotel with, many employees, thousands of people, to all of a sudden closing it down.
By the way, HHH, you said you're not voting now. I'm not talking about your last vote. So, yeah, you are. That's how it works.
Where my wonderful place in Florida, in Miami, Doral, they had to let a lot of the employees go because it's essentially closed. You can't use it. You can't have the restaurants. You can't have it. So you have to close it down. That's an example
of how I'm getting money from the government to cover these things through my sons.
Many hotels are closing down throughout the country, and hopefully they're going to be able to open up relatively quickly.
Specifically for small businesses, would the administration?
Well, it depends
make sure
how the
that
hotel is considered. Is it owned by a big chain? But even if it's owned by a big chain, that's devastating. If they have
the chains are often franchised.
200 hotels in the country and they're closed, and it's not only in the country. Remember this. This is all over the world. If they could have 2,000 hotels that are in other countries. They're also closing. We're in better shape than most when you think about it. So I think we're going to be looking at it. I think it's a very big problem, and it's a lot of people.
I think we're going to be looking at it. More leadership.
Here we go.
Mr. President, more than 22 million Americans are currently unemployed as a result of this. Today we hit the grim milestone of more than 40,000 Americans now having died from the coronavirus. Can you explain then why you come out here and you are reading clips and showing clips of praise for you and for your administration?
Yeah, no, he can't. Because we deserve it. It's not me. It's because they say nasty things.
Is this really the time for self-congratulations?
Well, I will tell you this. What I'm doing is I'm standing up for the men and women that have done such an incredible job. Not for me.
No one's. You're not reading things about how great the Army Corps of Engineers is.
For the men and women, admirals, vice president. If I every good thing they say about me is about me. Every good thing they say about them is about me. If they say anything about me that isn't good because I'm fucking around up here, then they're saying Mike isn't good. All good leads to me. All bad leads back down to the team. This is how he blames things in the White House. We're seeing this live time. But all of the men and women, thousands, tens of thousands of them that built hospitals in New York and New Jersey.
Yeah, no one's complaining about them.
And all over.
You're reading clips about you.
Country in record time to throw up 1,000 beds in 4 days. I'm sticking up for those people. Those people have been incredible. I'm also sticking up for doctors and nurses and military doctors and nurses.
The clips that you played and what you read earlier was praising you and your
All
administration.
I played today was Governor Cuomo
to do that, sir.
saying very positive things about the job the federal government has done. And
day,
those people,
40,000
and
Americans have now died.
those people have been just absolutely excoriated by some of the fake news, like you, your CNN, your fake news. And let me just tell you, they were excoriated by people like you that don't know any better because you don't have the brains you were born with. You should be
Wow. Oh, you poor whiny man. Look at this. You don't have the brains you were born with.
praising the people that have done a good job, not doing what you do. Even that question. So just so you understand, if we didn't do a
The question is
job,
why now? Not why are you doing
I'll tell
it,
you
but
why now. Are you ready? Because these people are right now in hospitals. It's dangerous. It's going to a battlefield.
You're not reading articles about how great nurses are.
And I want these people, I want you. I want you in the, it's all about that. It's not about me. No, nothing's about me.
The Wall Street Journal article was only about you.
Look, you're never going to treat me fairly, many of you. And I understand that. I don't even know. I got here with the worst, most unfair press treatment, they say, in the history of the United States for a president.
No, I'm going to go with 30-year attacks on Hillary Clinton.
They did say Abraham Lincoln had very bad treatment, too.
Yeah, he got shot in the head.
Let me just tell you.
It has your name in it. It talks about Trump remaking the playbook.
Well, that's a positive thing because that's an exercise in how to do it and what to do. And that's good for the future. People can learn from that. But I want the men and women of this country that are in danger, the admirals and the
garbage. This is nonsense.
Generals that have done a job like they've never done before. They're in war. We're in war. You know, I call it the invisible enemy. That's a war. And it's a dangerous war. We're also at a level, when you said 40,000 people, and you're right, almost 40,000 people. And what, oh, more than, okay, good, correct me.
41,000.
Good, well, I'm really glad you corrected me, CNN. But here's the story, let me.
Jesus.
Say something. If we didn't do what we did,
Hal doesn't know it, but all these streams attacking him has created empathy for this man. It's simple psychology liberal minds can't grasp. Yeah, I can. I don't have any illusions that there are idiots that buy his line. I just don't care. I don't like, people can feel bad for a bully who finally gets their comeuppance because they never saw the bullying or they don't consider it bullying. Those people are assholes. Why do I care what they think? Yeah. Anybody?
Could be a million people. Could be a million people.
And by the way, thank you, Corinne and Tom and Lisa Mia Moore for the super chats. I appreciate that.
40,000. It could be a million. We're tracking at much less than the lowest possible estimate, and that's a great tribute to
New York
people and a number of things.
Yeah, the American public.
One of the things that it's a tribute to is what's taken place in this country with the American people. Because they've gone inside, they've done it. They've done a job that nobody thought was possible.
And you're telling them to go outside and hang close together and, yeah.
In fact, when they did the models, as they call them, nobody thought it was possible. They did models not based on this kind of success. I've seen New York streets, and I see it in the morning. I've watched all my life New York streets, and you can't even see the pavement. There's so many people. And you take a look this morning, you take a look, even on Friday morning, I look.
Yeah, the American people are doing a great job staying home. No thanks to you. The American people aren't in charge of getting swabs to all the states that need to conduct tests so that one state that has a lot of resources doesn't buy them all up and test their citizens while a poorer state gets screwed. Because you think that they are not getting as many cases because they're more talented and not because simply they haven't been impacted yet, that they're behind the curve. I don't, yeah. It's so bizarre. Yeah, well, hold on.
I saw it through a camera. There wasn't a person on Fifth Avenue. There wasn't a person on Madison Avenue.
Who am I going to shoot?
I've never seen anything like it because people have really listened to instructions, and they've listened to what we've had to say, and the professionals, they've listened. And those people should really give them a lot of credit.
They do. We're talking about you patting yourself on the back.
Including people like you, because you just don't have the sense to understand what's going on. All right.
You don't have the sense to understand what's going on. Did you grasp the question that he actually asked you? Were you able to actually answer it? Were you able to answer it in a way that you didn't get flustered and upset and sweaty-lipped? By the way, how's the Coke nose coming?
Please, go ahead.
Christ.
Thank you, Mr. President. Should publicly traded companies like Shake Shack and Quantum Corp and Roost Chris, should they have access to the PPP program?
Well, it would depend. It would depend. A lot of those, I don't know much about any of those companies, but a lot of times they're owned by franchisees where they own one or two places, and they are small businesses. So a lot of that would depend on what the formula is. But again, many of those companies are, they're out to franchisees. A franchisee could open up one of the places that you mentioned. And so, yeah, I would say that's important, actually. That's like a restaurant. Go ahead, please.
These you referred to these protests earlier. Some of them are getting pretty intense, and we're actually getting some death threats to some governors who are reluctant.
You are in the media?
No, the governors are getting death threats. Governors of Kentucky, Michigan, Virginia, they're getting increased levels of death threats. And are you concerned that you're talking about liberation and the Second Amendment and all this stuff? Are you inciting violence among the few people?
I've seen the people. I've seen interviews of the people. These are great people. Look, they.
Oh yeah, like in Charlottesville.
They call cabin fever. You've heard the term.
Oh, that's what it is. They're just giving death threats because they have cabin fever. He's basically turned everyone into Jack Torrance.
They've got cabin fever. They want to get back. They want their life back. Their life was taken away.
A lot of these people never were observing this stuff. They just started getting shut down by the governors because they wouldn't listen. They don't have cabin fever. These assholes never paid attention to this. Hold on, it's stopping. Is it ridiculous?
From them. And they learned a lot during this period. They learned to do things differently than they have in the past. And
here's Donnie.
They'll do it hopefully until the virus has passed. And when the virus passes, I hope we're going to be sitting next to each other in baseball games, football games, basketball games.
Yeah, we will, but we won't pass the virus through the public faster if we kill a bunch of people in the process, especially medical workers who have a hyper exposure to this, dummy. Unbelievable. I mean, totally believable. This is it.
Ice hockey games. I hope we're going to be sitting next to each other. I hope you have golf. The Masters is going to have 100,000 people, not 25 people watching.
Are there big stadiums for golf?
At the course. I am not. No, I'm not. I think these people are. I've never seen so many American flags. I mean, I'm seeing.
A Confederate flag is not an American flag. That's the losing team.
The same thing that you're seeing. I don't see it any differently. They're who?
Nazi flag.
Well, that I totally would say no way. But I didn't see that. I see all, of course, I'm sure the news plays that up. I've seen American.
If the news plays it up, why haven't you seen it then? Oh, you only watch one channel.
Flags all over the place. I have never seen so many American flags at a rally as I have in these rallies. These people love our country. They want to get back to work.
Even if it means shooting the governor.
Please go ahead.
Thought any more about pardoning Paul Manafort or Roger Stone so they're not exposed to coronavirus in jail?
Well,
oh, stop it. You asshole.
I'll tell you this. Roger Stone was treated very unfairly.
No, he wasn't.
Paul Manafort, the black book turned out to be a fraud.
No, it
we
didn't.
learned that out during the various
No, we didn't.
last number of weeks.
That's not true.
Months.
That's just, that's a lie.
Had a black book that came out of Ukraine, turned out to be a fraud.
No, it's real.
Turned out to be a fraud. They could.
No, it's real.
Did a man turned out to be a fraud?
No, it's real.
General Flynn was a highly respected person.
And then he came to work for you and started following your orders and suggesting things that were illegal and started working for Turkey as an unpaid lobbyist and didn't put that on his FARA. And all right. Yeah.
The FBI said he didn't lie. And Mueller's people wanted him to go to jail.
Just answer the question.
Okay. So what am I going
If you give them a pardon, they have to admit guilt.
to do? You'll find out what I'm going to do. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do, but I will.
I'm waiting till I leave office.
Yeah, the whole thing turned out to be a scam, and it turned out to be a disgrace to our country.
No.
And it was a takedown of a duly elected president, and these people
Takedown of a duly elected president.
suffered greatly.
Still chafing over the fact that he wasn't really elected properly.
General Flynn.
You poor man.
I mean, what they did to him. And even the FBI said, and they had some, and nobody bigger fan of the FBI than me at the level of the people that really matter.
Yeah, the guy who said, who calls the FBI when somebody does something illegal around them? Who does that? Why would you?
But the top of the FBI was scum. And what they did to
the top of the FBI was scum.
General Flynn, and you know it, and everybody knows
You're elected because of that guy. If that guy hadn't come out and made the statement about Hillary, you'd have lost.
It was a disgrace. He was in the service
I can't stop
for
lying.
30 years. He ends up being a general and respected.
And then he goes to work for you, and look what happens.
Respected. And almost his first day in office, they come in with papers they want to investigate.
Yeah, because he was breaking the law.
Never happened before.
Because of you.
And now the tables are turned.
Never. Oh, are they?
Investigate the investigators, I guess. These were crooked
Yeah, nice try.
people. These are bad people. These are very dangerous people.
So the question was, are you going to let them get out of jail because of the chance that COVID-19 might be in the jail?
You know what they are, though? They're scum. They're human scum.
They're human
You
scum.
want to have one in the back, please?
Another OAN?
President, the CDC has finally admitted to profound failures with testing
Yeah, OAN. He went to her like, oh, I need a break.
from the beginning of the outbreak.
He's like, Trump's like,
Is this a
it reminds me of Jack Black in Tropic Thunder. Come on over here. Let's do this.
function of lax oversight from the Obama-Biden administration?
Well, it's not from me. I mean, they came in and they had some problems early on, but we've straightened it out. But yeah, look, I told you we inherited a lot of garbage. We took, they had tests that were no good. They had all
The test, it's a novel disease.
the stuff was no good. Came from somewhere. So whoever came up with
CDC was in charge of replenishing it. In 2018, you changed that from the CDC to Health and Human Services under Alex Azar. Alex Azar was in charge of upping all that, making sure that everything was fresh and still working and all that stuff. So everything that's broken, rotten, or stopped working is 3.5 years into your presidency. I don't get how people are okay with that. Like, this is so nuts.
I'm proud to tell you that now we went from having a lot of bad things happening in CDC to having great things happening. They're doing
What were the bad things that were happening in the CDC?
a good job now. But no, initially, look, our stockpiles were empty. We had horrible stockpiles. We had horrible ventilators. We had very few of them too. And so did the states have very few of them. But all of these things are now we're at a level that we've never been. Same with our military. Our military is the strongest it's ever been. We
didn't have any ammunition except for, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet I put out earlier today with the Jim Inhofe's bill to try and stop the Obama administration from stockpiling ammunition. Remember that? Yeah. Remember that? Anybody remember that? Yeah.
What
Remember
military? We've totally rebuilt our military. It's never been in a position. And we even have Space Force. Mike and I were talking about.
Oh, good. We can nuke the virus from space.
What an achievement that is. First time in 72 years we have a new force. So, yeah, CDC had obsolete tests, old tests, broken tests, and a mess. But they've done a very good job.
Why? You've had your administration shifted the control over the stockpiles and all the materials from CDC to the Health and Human Services Secretary in 2018. 2 years ago. What? Does anybody not know that? Does any Trump fans watching this not know that? Not know that in 2018 he shifted control over the stockpile from the CDC to the Health and Human Services Secretary, Alex Azar, and his department? And since then, nothing has been replenished. We lost contracts to repair the ventilators. we are what strategic reserves we have been depleted during that time. Also, go look up the stories from 2015 and 16, where the GAO, the General Accounting Office, was suggesting that the military give ammunition away for free to law enforcement all over the country because it was costing too much to stockpile it all. Anybody remember that? Anybody actually give a shit? Anybody?
They've done it under pressure. The pressure is, they had to do this under pressure. So we're very proud of the job they've done. Please, go ahead.
Mr. President, you said swabs are easy, and this has been something that hospitals and states have been saying there are shortages for more than a month now. Why wait to use the Defense Production Act until now?
Well, we already have millions coming in. We have.
Then no. If you're short, you're short. Why are you short?
One company that we're forced to use it with, and probably by tomorrow we won't be.
Tomorrow. We won't be short of swabs tomorrow.
Oh, it's a tremendous hammer. Probably by tomorrow it won't be, but we have millions of them coming in. They're very easy.
Then why have we been short of them for a month? If they're very easy, why are we short of them? And why have we been short of them for a month?
Comparison. And in all fairness, governors could get them themselves.
They have been. The big states have been buying them up as fast as they can. But the places can't produce enough of them.
All of this.
Can you just not count in general?
We're going to do it. We're going to work with the governors, and if they can't do it, we're going to do it. If they do,
why haven't you done it?
We can do it maybe cheaper.
Why, if you can do it cheaper and easier, why haven't you done it already?
Better. We're going to get we're getting very high quality. With us, it's all quality too.
So okay. So the hang up is that you can have stuff. Was it 3 ways? Cheap, clean, and cheap, quick, and good. And we're doing what? Cheap and good instead of quick and good, which would be how you would save lives during a pandemic. Are these the choices we're making?
Even if it takes a little bit longer, we want the highest quality in all, including the ventilators. So
they're swabs.
Yeah, we have.
I mean, do they have a ribbon on them? Are you getting them off of Etsy?
Millions of them coming in very soon, and many.
Yeah, if they're very easy, and you could have millions of them coming in very soon, and you've had the DPA for, authorized for 3 weeks. Why now? What the hell?
Some of them already have been ordered, and the governors don't know quite where they are, but they'll be.
Okay.
Finding them fairly soon.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna? It's like an Easter egg hunt. You got to go make them look.
Mr. President, on President Xi, you now talk about the missteps that China made early on in this crisis and how it put the United States.
Well, based on an investigation, we're going to find out. Yeah.
So when you repeatedly praised Xi in January and February, you said
this guy doesn't stop. The truth is relentless.
He will solve the problem. You said he was doing a great job. Were you duped by President Xi?
No. I made a deal that's phenomenal.
You made a deal that's phenomenal. If I have to lie about a pandemic on behalf of the Chinese government to get phase 1 of an incomplete trade deal through, that's the best anybody could hope for.
For the United States. No, you know who was duped? You and the Obama administration were duped for years because China was ripping off this country like in the history.
Well, okay, so $500 billion. $500 billion trade deficit. Okay, so America's been ripped off. $500 billion trade deficit. That's the argument we're going to make, right? Okay, we just had to do a $2.2 to $6.4 trillion support package for the entire country for a month and a half so far of downtime. $500 billion a year, trade deficit stuff. We buy more stuff than they buy from us. Trade deficit. That's it. We buy more stuff from them than they buy from us. To the tune of $500 billion. Talk to Walmart. But this asshole wants to say that that's comparable to him kissing President Xi's ass during when a during the rise of a pandemic that it was affecting the United States, pretending it didn't exist so he could get phase 1 of 3 phases signed based on what? On a time schedule before the election cycle, so that we could have a $250 billion trade deficit, not a $500 billion trade deficit. So to get $250 billion cut in trade deficit over the course of 12 months, he's going to cost the U.S. government $6.4 trillion. Just in case you were wondering how someone could possibly bankrupt a casino in Atlantic City. The grasp, it's
any
impossible.
country, nobody's been ripped off like the United States by China.
Oh my God. It's a trade deficit. We buy more of their stuff than they buy of ours. They make everything. We've been buying cheap crap forever. Ripped off.
And we stop it. And we've done a deal where they're paying us $250. They are buying $250. They didn't do anything for us. You know, we didn't even have a deal. It was so bad.
The deal. These comments are after the deal.
No. It is about a deal.
These comments were after the deal. He's still got phase 2 and phase 3. There is no deal, dude. You have to understand. Phase 1 was bullshit. He made a deal with China to buy $250 billion worth of, mainly it was $50 billion worth of livestock and agricultural products. Because China just killed 700 million pigs because of a disease over there. They were buying up everything from everyone. He did this to make a deal they already had to make. They were over the pork barrel. How? God damn.
Because the deal started a long time ago before anybody heard about this.
Just like the disease did. You mean the warning you sent to Israel about the pandemic in November? Like that far back?
The deal was finished a number of months ago. Very happy. I was very happy. I hope they were happy. Billions of dollars came in tariffs. Billions of dollars. They're going to be purchasing billions.
Yeah, are they? How many? $50 billion? Frigging chump change.
And all of a sudden, long after that, I find out about this. And
long after that.
I told you, I'm not.
I think he's
listen,
doing a very good
CNN.
job.
Listen,
It's
CNN.
a big problem.
I told you I'm not happy about it. And this was after the deal. So we have this wonderful deal. And I was nobody's been tougher before the deal ever on China than.
Oh my God. They make all the plastic toys and crap. When we buy crap, it comes from there. Honestly, this is a consumption issue. This has nothing to do with being ripped off or trade or any of that stuff. It is completely the opposite of, like, he's trying to link this to Chinese steel, which, by the way, he uses in his buildings. All of Trump's buildings are built with, but when he used to build them, he doesn't build anything anymore. Hasn't built anything since the early 90s, if then. It's all branding now and has been for decades. He doesn't have a construction company. Thank you, absolutely, Bronwyn. Jesus, this is draggy.
The deal is a great deal, great for our farmers. The farmers have been paid a fortune already.
$50 billion. The American taxpayer has had to pay the farmers more, just in this downturn from this disease, half as much already. Need some cleansing intermissions? I think so. This is ridiculous. Yeah.
Then what happened?
I don't.
Mistake. We made a great deal. Now I find out after the deal, I find out that I'm not happy. You people are so pathetic at CNN. Let me just tell you.
23rd.
Sure. I was very happy with the deal.
Keep at him.
Very
Keep
happy
pushing.
with everything.
Keep pushing. Make him leave. Make him walk out.
Then we find out about the plague, right? The plague. And since we found out about that, I'm not happy. But I closed it up long before Pelosi. Listen, long before Pelosi, she was having parties in San Francisco.
No, in Chinatown. She was not saying, don't blame Chinatown for a disease that's already here.
Let's all go to Chinatown. And that
Yeah.
was a long time after I closed up the country.
Sir, this is
Go ahead, please.
So the first of the month is next week.
That's why your ratings are so bad,
Oh my God.
because you're pathetic. Go ahead, let's go.
Oh my God, what a loser.
Your ratings are terrible. You got to get back to real news. Go ahead.
The first of the month is next week. So for people that are worried about whether or not they're going to see a stimulus check again next month, will there be another stimulus
Well,
check?
we're looking
coming out?
at it. We're talking about it. It's the delivery's been very good, as you know. People are getting them, and they're happy. It's
How much
saving
money would,
lives.
would it be?
No, they're not. If you had to get a paper check, you're not even going to get yours till the middle of next month. When's next month's check come? Middle of the month after that?
We will let you know when it's appropriate, but we're not going to let our people suffer. And you've seen that. By the way, you've seen that better than anyone. And you people have actually covered it with, within, okay. But
Yeah.
you've seen what's going on. And we got those checks out to people. It saved their lives.
Oh,
Nobody else
okay.
could have done it.
Bullshit. I'm skipping ahead because I don't need it. Like none of us do. I just want.
Why on that task force did you include Senator Kelly Loeffler? There's some questions about whether she.
Not because she's the senator from a great state, a state that I love, Georgia.
Trading.
Well, I don't know. I really don't know about that. But she's a.
You really don't know about that? How do you not know about that? She's in your party. She was on the intel briefing. She sold a bunch of stock. When is this?
Senator from Georgia, and she was included in the list. Absolutely. Go ahead. A couple of more. Go ahead, please.
Please another OAN, please.
Yeah, Mr. President, you said you'd spoken to Angela Merkel and the progress being made in Germany. You spoke about
Many of the leaders, yeah.
Yeah, many of the countries that maybe have taken their eye off the ball and let coronavirus let rip in their countries. Which one were you talking about?
Sweden.
The UK?
You mean some of
And the UK, yeah.
the ones that didn't do well? I don't say that, but you just have to look. And some of them just got hit hard. When I closed up our border, when I did the ban on China, they say a lot of the people that didn't come in here went to Italy. You heard that.
No.
That's why Italy was hit so hard. I don't think it.
What sick people from China suddenly decided, let's not go here. Let's go to Italy instead. That was my second choice for
Because
vacationing.
of government, I will say, Italy is locked down probably more than any other country right now. It's just absolutely locked solid down. But they got hit very hard because people that were coming to the United States couldn't come because I closed the country in January, and they went to Italy.
No.
They say it had to do with
Who's they? Who said that the people who were going to come to the United States and couldn't because of the ban went to Italy instead?
trade. It had to do with the purchase of certain materials, and Italy was another alternative. And so many people went to Italy instead of coming here, and Italy has suffered greatly. Now, I spoke with the Prime Minister a lot. He's a great friend of mine, and what's happened to Italy is very, very tough. Thank you all very much. We appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Oof. He's pissed. There's gonna be some wonderful tweets tonight. Oh God. Whew, we made it. Jesus Christ. What a creep. Chat, by the way, you guys were great today. I appreciate it. Sorry for the tech issues, but it's Sunday. I'm forgiving myself for those aspects of it. Christ almighty. Hold on. I've got to use this. I've got multiple screens going. Lord. Let's see. Is it translate? It should translate. There you go. Man. Like just. Phew. That was a tooth pull today. But. What happened to the pandemic updates? It was, yeah, this was all just a Sunday. Like, he must have been watching the Sunday morning news shows and seeing how much they were, talking crap about what he was doing, and aka the reality of this situation. Thank you, Noel, absolutely, and thanks to everybody in Ireland who's been popping in lately. It's nice to see you guys, in this way. I'm so looking forward to bringing my son to Scotland and Ireland because we're mixed. This year at some point after all this. That was awful. Thank you, Christina F. And thank you guys for the super chats today. I didn't quite, because I was dealing with so many tech things, I didn't necessarily get to see all of them, and I wanted to say that. So Christine F. and Bronwyn Fox and Corinne and Tom, thank you, and Lisa Miamore and John Mahoney and Joyce Kehoe and Zoe Franks, thanks for the follow. Jasper's mom, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the host, 17th Craig, appreciate it. You're just camping on my stream, is that what you're doing? Oh, cold-blooded. I hope you don't mind me promoting it on my Facebook page. I call it Ministry. No, I don't mind, Kim Ladd. I'm glad. Thank you. Please post it wherever you would like. Criminy. Like, this is just like embarrassing. Like, and literally, like, he's had some pretty bad whining fests, but this is just the most hideous thing I've ever seen coming from him. Let's see. There we go. So I think, let me see this. Yeah, it should be streaming on here, I hope. Why is it? Oh, I see. It doesn't go there. I got to fix that link. Okay, good. All right. Yeah. Weird. All right, we'll fix it. So I've got some behind the scenes work to do, but I think I know how I'll be able to solve it. So I'll just chop away at it. And you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys more than you know. And oh, I saw those. Thank you, Jill Carter, as well, and Christine F. at the tail end there. Go guys! It's 6 o'clock. We did get out at a relatively normal time comparatively. So let's see. So yeah, 6 o'clock. That's a good cutoff time for us. I'm proud of us. We made it out of here, and he did start even later. So we've had this felt super long, but it was actually one of the shorter ones, mainly because I cut out a bunch of the other stuff, which I think is a good idea. I think since we're going to mock this whole situation and most of the information that's worthwhile will be on the news, that, you know, as this thing, you know, spins on over the course of it, I think it'd be a good idea if I, you know, just jump ahead whenever Fauci or Birx are up there, because on the regular news we all watch, we'll get the updates about any kind of detail. But this is all bullshit anyways. Everything they see, even the people who are supposedly saying factual stuff like Birx and Pence, honestly, like, all I watch Fauci do now is come up and contradict the rest of them for a moment, just to give everybody a sense of reality, like do a reality check for a couple seconds. So I think we're just going to, like, in future, to save ourselves some time and some freak out, I'm going to jump forward whenever we're doing this, just do his remarks. If there's something that stands out that I see, I'll grab it, but and then go right to the Q&A and just blister him through that, because I think that's the only solution. Now I have to sign off so I can go cut out that arousal moment and post that as its own thing, because a lot of these, what is with people are so gross. Hold on, block, and here, and we go in there, and we take this guy, and we report. Abuse, there you go, goodbye. Done. Yeah, the Periscope friends, they're adorable. Good stuff, like reading the comment as well. I might, eventually, I think one of the solutions might be, kids, is if I can figure out how to do it, is just turn off commentary on Periscope and just leave it on YouTube. And if they want to come over and talk, at least I have more control over it over there. I think that'll be the easier thing. So, but we will be there. Let me go work on this and cut out that little piece and put it up there, and then rewire my desk, which is, because I raced to fix everything, mess. It's the Fox News of presidential briefings. It's exactly that. Oh, and I'm glad you like the faces. We will be doing more of those as time goes on. Let's see. I think, did I put that in the chat box? I don't think so. Yeah. So I've got yeah, I've got some work to do to get through some of these. So You guys have a lovely night. Go get something to eat. Watch something funny, something silly. I'll be back on later doing a couple of test streams where I'll be doing just music and messing around and some silly overlays and that kind of stuff. I will start. If anybody knows how to pull clips from stuff, and you're online when we're doing this, feel free to grab moments you think are cool and then message me later with them to post, because it's easier to do when you're not on from the outside than it is from my side. Besides just like cutting video. So anyways, you guys are awesome. Cheers. We'll see you soon. I'm signing off now. This will just be like, my room is so hot right now from all the lights and everything that I just need to like turn everything off and go back to scratch and start building stuff again. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. We'll see you again very soon. I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. And take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. You guys are the best. Peace and be wild.